have a bye. Also today, it was the Jets 13, Buffalo 6. But Buffalo was locked into their place. Now the captains are meeting at the center of the field. Eagles wearing their white jerseys and their slow green pants. The Giants in their blue jerseys and their white pants. Rain continues to fall. It is not heavy at the moment, but it is cold and it is steady.
I want someone to time these guys and see if they're slower in these green pants that you keep speaking of.
Carson Wentz turns 27 tomorrow. Our spotter, Bill Werndell, is...
Philadelphia, you're the visiting team. You'll call the coin. It's a U.S. silver dollar. That's the head. That's the tail. What's your call? Tails? Tails is the call. Tails is the call. It is a head. You won the toss. You want to defer. That means you want the ball. Which way you want to kick? Stay just as you are.
So the Giants
have won the toss and deferred. Philadelphia will receive and defend the north goal. Good luck, gentlemen. Play hard.
I was going to say our spotter, Bill Werndell, turns 107 today. The coin toss brought to you by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. Happy birthday, Billy. Got 24/7 care and support with the free Horizon Blue app from Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey. Look for it on the App Store or Google Play. Wireless rates may apply.
So, and of course, Pat Shurmur, our old friend, ex-coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, on the other side of the field and hoping to avoid the pink slip on Black Monday, which will happen tomorrow for many coaches around the National Football League. But I don't know if even a win today would save things for Pat Shurmur.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. Pat is a wonderful guy and I think deserves a third year with his young quarterback, but that's not the way of life in the National Football League. If you're not going where they expect you to go at the end of 2 years, dismissal is almost automatic. Giants get set to kick off.
Be interesting to see just the attack tactics by Doug Peterson in this offense with no Zach Ertz in the lineup. Who picks up that slack?
Opening kickoff brought to you by Ford. Ford F-150 is the only pickup built with a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy cabin bed. Check it out at your local Ford store today. Aldrich Rosas tees it up. The deep man, Boston Scott. He was terrific last week returning the ball against the Dallas Cowboys. Consistently had it across the 30. But let's see if Rosas can kick it out of the end zone. It's high and it's not deep. Coming up with Scott. He feels it at the 4. He drops it. He picks it up again and runs to the near side, cuts back, and he only gets to the 7. He fumbled the ball. He muffed it at the 4. And so the Eagles will start this game not the way they wanted, but with their backs to the wall as Sean Chandler came down and made the stop.
And a good decision by the Giants. Not only do they get the ball during the second half when the second half starts, but now they've got the Eagles backed up because of the drop by Boston Scott. And keep in mind, Boston Scott's coming out game was the first game against the Giants when he was inserted when Miles Sanders had to take a break, and he really sparked the offense.
Wentz under center, Sanders behind him. Deontay Burnett in his first snap as an Eagle by his lonesome to the far side. Instead it goes to Sanders. Sanders breaks a tackle but gets only as far as the 8-yard line where David Mayo stopped him. A pickup of just 2.
Well, and they're looking to go right with the run, but Miles Sanders looking for that cutback lane back off the backside, but they're just able to get to him. David Mayo, pretty good run stopper at linebacker.
Eagles go with 3 tight ends. Slot to the near side of the field. It is second down. Wentz drops. Wentz looks. He fires. And he completes it for a first down to Greg Ward. Out near the 20-yard line, an 11-yard pickup. That's the way to go.
Yep, and very careful to cradle that ball in. Greg Ward gets both hands around the football, looks it in, but it's just a simple outcut. You know, he pushes off on the defender, gets him to turn his hips, and breaks on the outcut wide open.
It is 1st and 10. This time, handoff again to Sanders. Fights his way, but only gets back to the line of scrimmage. The Giants have a very big front, and even though they're only ranked 19th against the run, they can be very difficult to budge out of the way.
And that is exactly right. They are hard to move. There's some big guys in the middle of that lineup.
It is second down and 10. Ball remains. 20-yard line. Wentz in the gun for the first time. Wentz goes back. He steps up. He looks. He pumps. He's going to run. He comes across the 25 and dives up close to a first down near the 30 where David Mayo closes his trip, but that's a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, smart decision by Carson because there's a big opening right there, and he takes advantage of the opening and very decisive, and you like to see that from your quarterback. Gets him another first down.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
The injured player is Greg Ward.
Yeah, Greg Ward's limping off the field.
Well, this is a guy you cannot afford to lose. He has been terrific for this team, and he is walking off slowly.
He just gets whipped by the legs of the linebacker, David Mayo.
This is one guy they have to have. Believe it or not, he's their most experienced receiver. If you don't count J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who's had a foot injury all week. Now Boston Scott comes in. Eagles have a 1st and 10 out at the 30-yard line. This drive began at around the 5-yard line. They go 3 tight ends. Motion as Wentz slips it off again. And it is Sanders running across the 40, running up to the 44-yard line. A 15-yard gain by Miles Sanders.
Boy, he has been outstanding. Really good job up front by the offensive line, and they don't have to do much. They get a crease, and that's all it takes. Give him a crease. They get a hand on him. Leonard Williams gets a hand on him, but the hand is just not enough to slow him down or bring him down.
Wing to the far side, slot to the near side. Wentz under center, he fakes. He rolls. He looks. He fires. And is it caught? No, it's incomplete. Intended for Dallas Goedert. Thrown a little bit low out near the 48-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
You mentioned those big guys up front. Dalvin Tomlinson, Leonard Williams, guys like that, well over 300 pounds, just tough to move up front. Running the ball is going to be difficult, and you have to get to the second level to get a hat on their linebacker.
3 receivers, 2 to the near side. Wentz in the gun again. He looks, he pumps, he fires. He completes it to Josh Perkins. He's got a first down. He lunges to the Giants' 41. Eagles moving the football.
Always finding a way, this offense, the offensive coordinator, and along with Doug Peterson, they do a great job of attacking defense. No Zach Ertz, but you do have a guy that can run most of those routes, and Joshua Perkins, another first down.
Wentz under center. Sanders the single setback. Giants faking the blitz. Wentz goes again to Sanders, cuts back, slams forward, comes to the Giants' 39. A pickup of about 2, putting the Eagles at a 2nd down and 8 as Marcus Golden, who was very difficult against the Eagles in that last game, makes the tackle.
Yeah, now that's a guy that they're going to have to block. If they're going to have success, and especially trying to run the football, you've got to get a hat on Marcus Golden.
3 receivers out to the far side. Goddard to the near side. Boston Scott in the backfield. 2nd down and 8. Wentz goes, gives it to Scott, and the Giants are waiting for him at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he picked up a yard. Ran into Marcus Golden, who you don't want to run into, and that puts the Eagles in 3rd and long.
Well, and there's an opportunity there for Carson to option off of Marcus Golden. It's a read option, and Golden's biting hard on the dive play.
Eagles have to get to the Giants' 31 for a first down.
When the guys upstairs are watching that and watching that often, they're going to clue Carson. You got to watch Golden, and he's going to put it in the belly and keep it around the edge.
Boston Scott comes back in. Slot to the near side. Lone receiver to the far side. Wentz in the gun. Wentz takes the snap. Here comes the rush. He pumps and he's hit as the ball comes loose. It's incomplete. He was hit as the arm came forward. He was hit, and I think Leonard Williams had a piece of it, but it did not reach the receiver.
No, that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Williams.
Oh, and they're going to keep the offense on the field. This is crunch time, Mr. Reese. So for your pregame, your in-game, or your postgame cravings, keep it Philly with Hers snacks.
Boy, you talk about being aggressive. This is early to be aggressive. You would hate to give the Giants the ball out near their own 40-yard line.
This is awfully aggressive.
Wentz again in the gun. Slot to the near side. Lone receiver to the far side. They have to get to the 31. Back goes Wentz. Here comes the rush. He steps up and he says he throws again incomplete. That's 2 successive plays where the Giants had total penetration.
Yeah, they get pressure on Carson this time, and they're able to get to that throwing arm just as he's releasing the football and forcing an errant throw.
It was Zemenis. And there's a timeout.
Hey, it's Joe Giglio, talking Philly sports weeknights 6 to 10 here on 94 WIP.
First and 10 at their own 38, down to Howard.
All right, Merrill. Greg Ward was in the medical tent. They examined him. I believe it was his left ankle. They retaped both ankles. He sprinted for the trainers, and he's ready to go. Back up to you.
Right now, the Giants have the football at their own 38-yard line. Motion to the far side. Daniel Jones in the gun. On first down, Daniel Jones goes and hands it off inside to Barkley, and Barkley comes forward across the 40 and takes it up to the 43 for a 5-yard carry on his first touch of the ball.
Yeah, Rodney McLeod gets up there, but when you have the safeties making the stops in the run game, you know you're giving up a little bit too much.
Now they put it back at the 42, so it'll be second down at about 6.5. Giants moving from our right to our left.
But I must say, with Saquon Barkley, if you can hold him to that, you're not doing a bad job.
3 receivers slot to the far side of the field. Jones again in the gun. Jones fakes, looks, goes over the middle, and it's incomplete, but a penalty flag comes down, thrown from the secondary. Boy, if they're going to call holding against the Eagles, defensive holding against the Eagles.
Yes, they are.
While the quarterback still had the ball, holding. Defense number 32. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down, Giants.
So the Giants pick up a first down on the holding penalty against Rasul Douglas.
You know, if I'm on the other side and the coach do what Doug Peterson did, go for it on fourth down in that situation, I don't know if I don't feel a little bit disrespected. And I want to come after him with everything I've got.
Shepard to the far side. Tate in the slot. Slayton to the near side. Under center for the first time is Jones. He's back. He steps up. Penalty flag thrown as he is looking, maybe holding against the Giants, and he throws it away incomplete. This may be holding against the Giants, Mike. I think it is. Pass rush by Malcolm Jenkins blitzing.
Yeah, I think it's going to come right back or back the Giants up. Just a big bunch off the right side, and you see a couple of the Eagles going down, Brandon Graham being one of them. And
holding.
There it is.
Offense number 82. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Caden Smith, the tight end. He was one of the stars of last week's game where he scored 2 touchdowns for the Giants in that win over Washington.
Puts the Giants back at their own 37-yard line, so it is first down and 20. Eagles move from the 7 down past the Giants' 40, but ended up turning it over on downs. It is first and 20 for New York at their own 37. In the gun is Jones. Barkley to his left. 3 receivers right, 1 left. On first down, Jones goes back, fires, complete up across the 40, but being tackled and thrown down. And thrown down at the 40 is Slayton. A pickup of about 5. It'll be second down and 15.
Well, but quickly that football comes out, and it has to because they're getting around Daniel Jones. An excellent move off the edge by Derek Barnett, a little spin move to the inside. And if Jones doesn't let that ball go right away, he's going to take a sack.
Slayton wide to the far side, Tate in the slot. Shepard to the near side, shotgun. Ball at the 42, second and 15. Jones takes a low snap. He backs up. Here comes the rush. Looks left, looks right. Fires, and it is complete at midfield as he found the tight end, Caden Smith. Still leaves the Giants about 8 yards shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 8 from midfield. Jones right on target that time.
Well, and LeBlanc has an opportunity to just step right around the target and get the football out, just a little bit hesitant and doing that.
Giants have to get to the Eagles' 43 for a first down. Jones in the gun, again slot to the far side. Slayton to the near side. Daniel Jones calling for the football. He's back. He's looking. He fires, and it's incomplete. Broken up. Great play by Cre'Von LeBlanc. knocking the ball intended for Tate away.
That is an outstanding play by Crevon LeBlanc. Now, you know the ball's going to come out early. He's tight. He gets press coverage on him, gets tight on him. He's right in his hip pocket and dives around him to get the football out.
First defensive stop of the game brought to you by St. Christopher's Hospital for Children, committed to delivering high-quality family and patient-centered care since 1875. In the punt, Riley Dixon. In the return, Greg Ward. He's back. High end over end. Ward comes up, signals for a fair catch, and clutches it at the 17-yard line. Timeout on the field with no score on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94 WIP.
Cameron, John Ritchie, 10-2 on WIP.
Drive. It's a vehicle subscription program that delivers all the car and none of the commitment. Do what I did and download the Flex Drive app now. Nothing the score. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 18-yard line, moving left to right. Greg Ward is back in the lineup. Eagles have run it 6 times and thrown it 5. Wentz lines them up. Sanders to his left. Slot to the near side of the field. Wentz on 1st down goes into a long count. Motion, Boston Scott. He fakes to Scott. Wentz starts to run, looks, fires, and completes it up across the 30, and breaking a tackle is Goddard and taking it to the 32. That's a 14-yard gain, Mike.
Yeah, and the movement by Carson Wentz makes this play. No, it's sealed up really well on the left side, so he starts to slide to his right, extend the play, and allow Goddard to get open, and he hits him right on the numbers.
They have 2 tight ends now. The second is Perkins. Slot to the far side, 1st and 10. Wentz gives off to Sanders. He's got a hole. He's at the 40, 45, midfield, into Giants territory. Miles Sanders down to the Giants 47.
What a nice burst you see from Miles Sanders, boy. When he gets through, when he gets to the second level, he runs so well at the second level.
That's a 22-yard gain. He should be the offensive rookie of the year. 1st and 10 in Giants territory. Slot to the far side. Wentz again in the gun. Comes right back to Sanders, but this time the Giants are ready for him, and he loses a yard. Tackled by Julian Love.
Yeah, they're blitzing Love, the safety, coming off the edge, and because he comes late, and Miles is, he's very patient now in running the football and bursting through the line of scrimmage, and Love is able to run him down from the backside.
3 receivers left. 2 to the right, empty backfield. Sanders in the near side slot inside of Davis. Wentz takes the snap and backpedals. He looks and fires, and he completes it up to the 45-yard line. Not much there as he has Sanders, but only for a pickup of 3, which will put them at a 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, and Miles Sanders gets up hobbled after that stop on the sideline. He's a little bit gimpy.
Deontay Burnett, playing in his first game, just brought up from the practice squad. He's in the game now. Davis and Ward to the far side. Goddard and Burnett to the near side. Scott in the game to the right of Wentz. They have to get to the Giants 37 for a 1st down. Wentz calling for the football. He takes it. He steps up. He's looking. He fires. Complete. Goddard inside the 20. Down to the 16. Wentz just threw a laser.
Yeah, the timing of that ball getting out to Dallas Goddard, just absolutely perfect. The pocket is solid, but eventually that pocket's going to break. Carson steps into this throw, and it's a rocket right down the seam.
Eagles in the Mealy's red zone. $100 donation to Justice Rescue. 1st and 10. They're at the Giants 17. Wentz on 1st down gives it to Scott. Scott takes it inside the 15 down to about the 14, where Leonard Williams stops Boston Scott, and Miles Sanders comes back into the lineup, and Scott comes off. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Listen, when this offense is able to give Carson time, he's going to carve up this secondary of the Giants. A lot of inexperience on the back end of this defense for the Giants.
Sanders back into the left of Wentz, who's in the gun. 2nd and 9, just inside the Giants 15. This time, a handoff goes to Sanders. He tries to take it wide, and the Giants shut him down. Very little there. He picks up maybe a yard. The Giants' front has been tough. A couple of times Sanders has broken away. That was not one of them.
Very simply, Dalvin Tomlinson just gets through the offensive line. He gets a lot of push on Jason Kelsey, and if you're going to run the ball when they play an odd front, meaning that someone's over the center, you've got to be able to block that guy over the center.
It is 3rd and 8. They must get inside the 6. Wentz lines them up. Slots to either side. Sanders positioned to the right of Wentz. Wentz takes the snap. He's looking. He fires out to Sanders, but it's not going to do a thing because the Giants are right up there in his face. And Michael Thomas hits him as the ball is clutched in his hands, and it puts the Eagles in a 4th down, and the field goal unit comes on.
That last 4th down that they had, the previous possession, they were just outside of the range of Jake Elliott.
Jake was 17 for 17, and then he has been on a little bit of a cold streak, missing 3 of his last 5. This is only a 31-yard attempt to put the Eagles on the board. Ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Eagles lead 3-0. With that field goal, Direct Energy kicks in another $500 to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Direct Energy supports the community. Business.directenergy.com.
It's Angelo Cataldi. We'll be talking to Doug Peterson tomorrow morning at 8, right here on 94 WIP.
6 to 10 here on 94 WIP.
Xfinity X5 lead change of the game, powered by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia. Well, you see some green jerseys in the crowd, but not enough to really make noise. It's not like it was in Miami or Washington. This is clearly a Giants crowd. A lot of blue throughout the stadium, even though the Giants are 4-11. Here is the kickoff by Elliott. It is high and not deep. Coming up is Latimer, taking it at the 8, the 10, the 15, 20, and he is brought down at the 26-yard line.
Really nice job by Sidney Jones here. They really squeeze that thing down. When Latimer gets the ball, it appears as if he's got a big run lane, but Sidney Jones comes off the right side and just squeezes it down, or off the left side, squeezes it down, and takes him down for a short pickup.
In Dallas, Cowboys lead the Redskins 3-0. Baltimore 3, Pittsburgh nothing. Tennessee and Houston 7-7. Rams lead Arizona 3-0, and the Raiders in Denver scoreless, all in the first quarter. 3-0 Eagles with 3.5 to go here in the first quarter. Jones in the gun again. Jones on first down looks right, fires right, completes it to Shepard out across the 30 to the 32. Pickup on the play of about 6 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 4. You're right, Jones is getting rid of it very quickly.
Lots of play action, lots of getting that ball out very quickly because he has to. This is not a great offensive line. Lots of substitutions on their offensive line, and they can be had. This defensive front of the Eagles, they have to get to Jones.
Under center is Jones on 2nd down and 4. Barkley, the single setback. He's their big gun. He gives it to Barkley, and Barkley is thrown for a loss back at the 27-yard line. That is a tackle for a loss by Brandon Graham, who has done a lot of that this season with help from Rodney McLeod.
Well, it starts with Rodney McLeod, Merrill. Rodney McLeod comes off the edge, gets into the backfield, and right away he forces Saquon Barkley to go laterally. When he can't go straight ahead, he's got a problem, and when he changes his course, it allows everyone else then to get to him and get him on the ground.
Slayton out to the far side. Slot to the near side. 3rd and 8 for the Giants. Ball at their own 27. In the gun, Daniel Jones. Jones takes the snap and backpedals again. He steps up. He's looking. He's hit. They've got him inside the 15. Brandon Graham, tackle for loss and sack.
BG, they run a really nice stunt here where BG lines up on the inside and he loops around to the right side. A great stunt call. They back out in the zone coverage when it looks like it's going to be an all-out blitz, and BG hits home.
That sack brought to you by Steakum, contributing to Stop Hunger in Philadelphia by donating $100 for every sack throughout the season to Phil Abundance. Here is the punt by Dixon, sending Greg Ward to the far side. He makes a man miss. He jumps over a man, and he fights his way to the 39-yard line for a 9-yard gain, but there's a penalty flag thrown, and generally that's against the receiving team. Michael Thomas made the stop.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 57. 10-yard penalty. Philadelphia keeps the ball. First down.
TJ Edwards, timeout on the field with the score. 3-0 Eagles on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94 WIP.
Radio.com app.
It's a whole new ball game at Parks Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, your game day destination. The Beer Garden and the Gastro Pub open every day at noon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Here at the Meadowlands, it's a minute and 34 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Eagles leading 3-0. They've moved the ball well. Came down inside the 15-yard line, but did not put it into the end zone. Had to go for a field goal. 1st and 10 at the 30. Sanders to the right of Wentz. Scott in as a receiver. Back goes Wentz. He steps up. He floats it out, and it's dropped by Sanders. Incomplete. Wanted to screen to Sanders, who was 5 yards away, and Sanders uncharacteristically dropped the football.
Yeah, and this has been one of the Eagles' most productive plays, the screen game. But Sanders realizes that there's an unblocked guy, and he's going to have to quickly get this ball and avoid that first guy. Just takes his eyes off the football.
Go with double tight ends. Perkins in the game. Rob Davis split wide to the near side of the field. Sanders repositioned to the left of Wentz, who's in the gun. 2nd and 10. Motion, Greg Ward from left to right. Wentz calls for the football, stamps the right foot. He goes back, he fakes. He's looking. He's still looking. He fires it, and it's incomplete. He threw the ball short, intended for Sanders. He had given that field a long, long look, and then at the last second tried to get it over to Sanders, and by that time he was surrounded by Giants.
Yeah, just one too many hitches by Carson. When he sees Sanders, he's got to get it to him right away, but there's a hitch, and by the time he hitches it, gives that defense enough time to get enough interference around him where it forces an errant throw.
Eagles 1 for 3 on third down conversions, 47% on the season. This is a 3rd and 10 from the 30. Sanders to the left of Wentz. Again, 3 receivers. Slot to the near side of the field. Wentz back. Here comes the rush. He swings it out to Sanders, and he'll lose yards. Giants right on top of him.
Yeah, that's
very good
perfectly.
coverage by the Giants. It's Dion Buchanan. Dion Buchanan came up and stopped them in the backfield. Not a good offensive series by the Eagles as they lose 6 yards right there, and now they have to punt.
Dion Buchanan reads this thing perfectly. He plays kind of like Malcolm Jenkins, linebacker / safety type of role. Well, when he lines up close to the line of scrimmage, he's keying on your #1 guy, and that's Miles Sanders. He's able to disrupt the play.
Johnston to punt. Damari Scott is the deep man. Cameron Johnston gets it away. It is a high wobbler. Coming up is Damari Scott. He backs up, and then he's thrown down at the 32. He made the cardinal mistake of a punt returner. He took it at the 35 and gave ground, and the Eagles put him backwards. Malcolm Jenkins on the coverage unit that time made the stop. Got a behind-the-scenes look at life with the Philadelphia Eagles on the Eagles Insider Podcast presented by Lincoln Financial Group with Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro. Subscribe today wherever you listen to podcasts. So the Giants start this drive at their own 32-yard line with 31 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Eagles lead 3-0. They should be ahead by more than that.
And they've played good defense. The offense has to do more.
Yep.
With all of these opportunities now. Their third possession, they've only gotten 3 points out of it against a defense that's giving up a lot of points.
1st and 10 Giants, ball up at the 32. A lot of pressure on Wentz. Barkley and Penny in the backfield. Now Jones in the shotgun. Jones on 1st down. Takes the snap. He's backing up. He's looking. He puts it in the air, and he completes it out across the 40 for a 9-yard gain to Sterling Shepard. 9-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Shepard, a seasoned veteran out of Oklahoma, and he knows how to find those pockets in the zone, and that's what they're seeing on this play, and he just hooks up for an 8-yard pickup.
And that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Eagles 3, the Giants nothing on the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank.
This is the end of the first quarter.
Make
Timeout.
today the day on 94 WIP. Hi, this is Merrill Reese. When it comes to your roof, it's like game this time. It'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Giants as we begin the second quarter. 3-0 Eagles. Giants picked up 1 first down in the first quarter. Eagles move the ball well, but all they have to show for it is a Jake Elliott field goal.
Carson Wentz in that first quarter was 7 of 12, 66 yards. Miles Sanders, 7 carries for 40 yards. Dallas Goedert, big in receiving, 2 catches for 42 yards.
Cowboys 6-0 over the Redskins in the first quarter in Dallas. 2nd down and 1 for the Giants. In the gun again is Daniel Jones. 3 receivers to the near side. Barkley to the left of Jones. On 2nd and 1, it goes to Barkley, and he's thrown down for a loss again. This time, Brandon Graham.
Boy, they're charging. They are charging, and you have to do that in the run game, because if you allow Saquon Barkley space and room to run, boy, he'll hurt you. But they're able to. They get a great push. Timmy Jernigan just pushes the offensive line back into the backfield. Brandon Graham coming off one edge. Nathan Gary coming off the edge. A great job of getting all of those white shirts into the Giants' backfield.
It is 3rd down and 4 for the Giants. 3 receivers. Now 4 as Barkley goes wide to the far side of the field. Empty backfield for Daniel Jones. Jones takes a deep snap. He steps up. He lets it fly, and it is incomplete. Broken up. Clean breakup on the play by Rasul Douglas, as Sterling Shepard was the intended receiver.
And this is a really good job by Rasul Douglas. He's actually beaten early in the route, but he catches up to the ball, and right as the ball is coming down to Shepard, Rasul gets a hand on the football. An outstanding defensive play.
And the punt, Riley Dixon. In the return, Greg Ward. Giants had a 2nd down and 1 as this second quarter began. Now they're late getting somebody on the field. They need 11 in coverage. Greg Ward standing inside his 20. The punt is away. Punt is soaring. Greg Ward comes over and lets it bounce, and it will across the 10, across the 5. And now there's a penalty thrown as the ball lands at the 1-yard line, but the penalty is, I think, Mike, against the Giants.
This is an excellent special teams job by the Giants. Unfortunately, it's coming back because they're going to get flagged for a holding call.
That's unfortunately for the Giants' standpoint.
That's what I said. Unfortunately for the Giants, it's coming back.
10-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Yeah. For the Giants, it's coming back. They're going to have to punt it all over again after downing the ball down at the 1-yard line.
Well, that's what happens to 4 and 11 teams. Cody Core. All right, they bring it back.
It wasn't just a hold. They nearly tackled Brandon Graham on that play. So as well as they're able to execute the punt and the stop of the ball, it's got to go over again.
Well, the Eagles should be picking up a lot of yards from that previous apparent result. This one is away. Ward looks up again. He backs up, calls for a fair catch, and makes it at the 18-yard line. So they picked up 17 yards on the repunt. 13:49 remaining here in the first half. 3-0 Eagles.
And it's impressive the way Jim Schwartz is changing up defense, the looks for Daniel Jones. And that's what you want to do. You want to give him a lot of different looks. Mentally, you want to exhaust him. You want him to look and see zone, look and see man. And when the ball is snapped, it's something different from what you saw pre-snap. And he's giving him a lot of those looks.
Earlier, the Eagles moved the ball very well, but on their last possession, they went nowhere. 1, 2, 3 and out. Let's see what they do right here. 1st and 10. Wentz in the gun. Sanders to his left. Boston Scott in motion. They pitch it to Boston Scott, who turns the corner. He comes across the 20, across the 25, still spinning as he picks up about 9 yards. Boston Scott on the reverse for 9 yards.
If you recall the first matchup against these two teams, the offense was sparked when Boston Scott came into the game and they were able to get him the football on the edge. They get him on the edge right here. He's able to pick up a first down.
He does. He's
on
got
that
10.
play.
He's got 10. They spotted across the 29-yard line. Eagles moving right to left. Slot to the far side. Greg Ward to the near side of the field. Wentz under center. Sanders behind him. Motion. Greg Ward on 1st down. Wentz straight back. Wentz looking. Fires. Complete. And it is Greg Ward diving down at the 45-yard line. Greg Ward, he has played just excellent football. That's a 15-yard gain.
Listen, he's doing exactly what he's done for the last couple of years in practice every day. And this is one of those routes where he's able to trail the first receiver and just come right behind him, set it down, and get another first down for this offense.
I won't ask the obvious question. It is 1st and 10, the ball up at the 44. Wentz back again. He is firing, and it is incomplete. The penalty flag thrown against the Giants.
Yep.
Pass again, this time intended for Rob Davis. And let's see if the penalty is pass interference.
It is on Antonio Hamilton. And you've got to take those shots.
Defense number 30. Ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down, Eagles.
Merrill, they have to take those shots on the outside. They're going to get a lot of man coverage on the outside. They're going to have opportunities for shots, and even if you don't catch the ball, you can have plays like that where you're advancing it because of a penalty.
Boston Scott lines up as a receiver to the far side of the field in the slot. Goddard in the near side slot. Wentz in the gun. Sanders to his left. This time, handoff. Sanders. Sanders tries to break away, but the Giants are all over him as he gets to the 42-yard line. And B.J. Hill makes the stop after a gain of only 1. Rob Davis comes back in. Eagles with a lot of personnel switches.
Yeah,
Out comes Boston Scott.
A lot of variety in the play calling early in the football game here.
Davis, the former Washington Redskin, elevated from the practice squad a couple of weeks ago. Slot to the near side. Greg Ward to the far side. Wentz under center. It is 2nd down and 9. Ball at the Giants 42. Ward in motion. Wentz fakes. Here comes the rush, and they've got him back on his own side of the field.
Yeah, they're coming all out, the Giants.
Leonard Williams.
They're playing man coverage with the single high safety. Everyone else, they're going after the quarterback. They're able to break down the offensive line. And when Carson turns around, he's already got bodies out in front of him. David Mayo was there along with Leonard Williams.
Here were the Eagles all the way down at the Giants 43, and now they find themselves in a 3rd down and 19.
Well, that's a smart play call by James Betcher, their defensive coordinator, just sicking the boys on him on that play.
3rd and 19 from the Eagles 48. Wentz in the gun again. He takes the snap, and it's going to be another 5 yards as there was movement. Goddard started forward and back, and it'll be another 5.
There's delayed.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So 3rd and 19 became 3rd and 24.
To 11-11. Please.
And you could see that some of the guys recognized at the time the play clock was winding down and they needed to get the play off, but just not in time.
So it becomes 3rd and Bayonne. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to the far side. Slot to the near side. Wentz in the gun. Sanders to his right. They have to get to the Giants 33 for a first down.
And I can tell you the Giants are expecting screen here.
Wentz calling for the football. He gives it off to Sanders, who breaks a tackle, comes across the 50, but gets only as far as the Giants 46. Nice run, but when you need 24 and get 13, it leaves you wanting.
Pretty good play call and a chance to try and pin the Giants back on this punt. If you're able to get a nice high punt, force a fair catch, or get your coverage unit down there to down the ball down deep in their territory.
Golden Tate, who spent half of last season with the Eagles, standing inside the 10. Cameron Johnston gets it away. It is end over end. And it is coming down and bouncing at the 5. And it will be down by the Eagles at the 3. Sidney Jones came down and got it. There's a timeout on the field with the score 3-0 Eagles on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94 WIP. If the Eagles trap them in the end zone, it would be the safety of the game, brought to you by PGW. PGW, delivering safe, reliable energy to Philadelphia for more than 180 years. PGW Energy for all of us. Visit pgwworks.com. 1st and 10 Giants deep in their own territory. Eagles have moved the ball, but they only have 3 points to show for it. Giants have only 1 first down in this game. Under center is Jones. On 1st down, Jones flares it out to the near side to Slayton, and he's brought down at the 10. So they pick up about 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Jones very decisive there. Nathan Gary made the stop.
This could have been a call at the line of scrimmage, because if you look at the Eagles defensively, they had everyone loaded up at the line of scrimmage, going to go after, try and get into the backfield. One wide receiver in Slayton, and Jones just takes the ball and whips it out to him.
Well, they've been piling up Barkley, but you know he can break long at any given moment. In the gun again is Jones, 2nd down and 3. Jones takes the snap. He's back to throw. He steps up. He is going deep. He wants Shepard, and it is incomplete. Broken up on the near side of the field by Maddox. Great play, staying with Shepard and leaping and deflecting it at the right moment.
And this is excellent man coverage. And I love the fact that he looks back and he plays the football. He's not going to try and play the hands of the receiver. He's stride for stride with Sterling Shepard. He plays the football and gets it out.
Giants are 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They line up with an empty backfield. Have to get to the 13 for a 1st down. Jones takes the snap. He's back. He pumps. He fires, and it's dropped. He went to Tate over the middle, and Tate simply dropped it. The ball was well delivered, but Golden Tate was less than golden on that reception.
Tate didn't want to get in that fire. You know, when you come across the middle like that, there's a lot of fire in there, and he's looking for contact and not focusing on the football, and Giants are forced to punt it again.
And the punt is Riley Davis. I'd love to see Greg Ward have a returnable punt, because he is very good at this. Here is the punt. It's away, and it is coming down to Ward, who comes up. He takes it at the 48. He falls down. He gets up, and he falls down again. Now, keep in mind that it has been raining throughout this game, and this field is slippery. There is a timeout on the field with the score: the Eagles 3, the Giants nothing on the Eagles Radio Network. The rain continues to fall steadily here at MetLife Stadium. 3-0. Eagles lead the Giants. They spent a lot of time in Giants territory, but have only one 31-yard field goal to show for it. 9:03 remaining in the first half. In Dallas, it's Cowboys 6, Redskins 3.
They've got to look to try and get more shot plays. They had the one ball down the field. Was not a catch, but they get an interference call, and you've got to take your shots.
Boston Scott lines up behind Wentz. 1st and 10 at the 46, their own 46. Wentz fakes, Wentz rolls, still rolling. He's looking. He starts to dash, and he is pushed out of bounds up at the 49-yard line. Down to Howard.
All right, Merrill, Miles Sanders is in the medical tent. Got banged up a little bit earlier. I know Mike saw it when he was on the sidelines. I'm not sure what the injury is, but they're working on him, and I will update it as soon as I get something. They can't lose him, obviously. Back up to you.
Wentz was looking in the direction of Boston Scott before he took off, but something he was looking for didn't develop. It is 2nd down and 7 at the 49-yard line, their own 49. Slot to the near side of the field. Wentz has endured a lot of pressure from the Giants' front. Wentz takes the snap again. This time, he goes to Scott, who tries to take it outside, and he slashes across the midfield stripe and picks up about 4 yards. Good running by little Boston Scott, who hides behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's an asset when you're 5'2". Well, he's 5'6". But that is an asset. His speed to get to the outside, then he just tries to find a lane to turn it north-south, and just not a lot of space there for Boston Scott.
Eagles are only 1 for 5 on 3rd down. That is not how they have been playing this season. That has been one of their strengths.
Yeah, they're the 2nd leading team in the National Football League in this situation, but they haven't been good on 1st, 2nd down today.
It is 3rd and 4 from the Giants' 48. Empty backfield. Back goes Wentz. He steps up. He looks. He is going deep for Scott, overthrown. Scott all the way down at the 20, and Wentz put too much air under the football, even though Scott had beaten his man by a step and a half.
Oh, he's got a wide open Boston Scott. You know, he runs right by Alec Ogletree, the linebacker, and he just could not put it on him.
Yeah, nowhere near him, and the Eagles have to punt again. Offense has not been good. I mean, they've had their moments, but they've been just okay. And as the commercial says, just okay is not enough.
Yeah, that's not okay. You know, this is their 5th possession, Merrill, and they get the ball with the short field, and they are punting already.
Here's the punt to Tate, end over end. Tate calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 14-yard line. No, that's not good. There's too much at stake today to be playing lackluster offense. There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Eagles 3, the Giants nothing on the Eagles' right. 7:26 to go in the first half. 3-0 Eagles down to Howard.
He's got bad
All right, Merrill,
news.
Miles Sanders has gone to the locker room. It looks like it's a foot or an ankle. I'll give you an update when I get it. Back to you.
1st and 10, Giants. Football at their own 14. Shotgun. Barkley to the left of Daniel Jones. Motion Golden Tate. Handoff goes to Barkley, and Barkley is running and tripped up shy of the 20. Picks up a few yards this time, but Eagles defense plays him well. Picks up about 6, and that was one of his better runs. LeBlanc and McLeod made the tackle.
And Daniel Jones wants to go to the line without a huddle to try and speed up the tempo and get this offense of his moving.
He takes the deep snap. He fakes to Barkley. He goes back and throws it. Wide open, the tight end, Caden Smith, up at the 45-yard line. But there's a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage, and we'll see.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 32. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Boy, that's a big penalty on Rasul Douglas.
Listen, they go tempo. They get a big play down the seam to the tight end. And on the back end of the play, or at the start of the play, is where Rasul Douglas takes down the quarterback. And to me, it should not have been a call.
No. Why is that a personal foul? All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 40. Was a classic tackle. Back again goes Jones, puts it in the air, and cartwheeling for his Tate. Just outside the 20. Tate went up. He was cartwheel on the play. Came down hard, but he picked up 20 more yards.
Timeout for an injured player.
Avonte Maddox is hurt.
Yeah, Maddox makes the play, but he takes the brunt of it after the stop on Golden Tate, and he's coming off the field. But just like that, in 2 plays, the Giants are down at the 20-yard line and scoring territory.
20 yards and a 15-yard penalty down at the 20-yard line. Eventually, you give them enough chances. Eventually, they're going to do something. 1st and 10 just outside the 20. Slot to the far side. Lone receiver to the near side. Daniel Jones with Barkley to his right. Jones on 1st down. Takes the snap. He's back again. He looks, he pumps, he fires. It is deflected and incomplete. Intended that time for Slayton down at the 10-yard line. It was broken up by Sidney Jones. Hung in the air a long time. A shame there weren't any Eagles around it, or it would have been a pick.
But I like the coverage by Sidney Jones, though. Very tight in his back pedal, and on the break, he's breaking too, gets an arm in and gets the football in the air.
6:06 remaining in the first half, 3-0 Eagles, but the Giants threatening for the first time in this game. It is 2nd and 10. Under center is Jones. Barkley right behind him. This time he gives to Barkley, and Barkley is brought down after a gain of less than 2 yards. Eagles are playing well against Saquon Barkley. Jernigan made that stop. For the most part, with the exception of those last 2 passes, the Eagles' defense has been practically airtight. This puts the Giants in a 3rd down and 9 at the 19. Eagles lead 3-0. Giants are 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. This would be a nice time to create a turnover for the Eagles. Jones in the gun. Barkley to his right. 3 receivers left. Tate to the right. Back goes Jones. He throws, and it is incomplete because the pass rush was in his face. Plenty of rush. Malcolm Jenkins on the blitz, and the Giants field goal unit comes in with an attempt to tie the game.
Again, it's a great call by Jim Schwartz. He's going to line up Malcolm Jenkins, who slides around the defensive line, and he picks his spot. And when the ball is snapped, he's got a free run to Daniel Jones, the quarterback, and they force that error and throw. He's going to try and hit Saquon Barkley on a wheel route, but because of the pressure, he couldn't get it.
27-yard attempt for Rosas, who has not been good this season, only 11 for 16. But this is a short one, and it is away, and it is up, and it is good, and we're tied at 3.
There has to be concern, though, on the Eagles sideline with Miles Sanders now. We're not sure exactly what's going on with him, but he's in the locker room, as Howard reported, and talking to Deuce Staley before the game, Jordan Howard is dressed for the game, but he really only wanted to use him in emergency-type situations. Well, if you don't have Miles, I think you get to that stage of emergency.
Stat brought to you by PNC Bank. From Market Street to Broad Street to your street, PNC is ready to help you give it all you've got today so you can reach your goals tomorrow. Cowboys have scored a touchdown. They now lead the Redskins 13-3 in Dallas. Baltimore trailing Pittsburgh 7-6 in the first half. Tennessee 14, Houston 7. Down to Howard.
All right, Merrill. Avonte Maddox just came out of the medical tent. He's running around. He looks like it could be all right. It seems like an upper body injury. As far as Sanders, he has an ankle injury. He is questionable to return, but there's still obviously a chance when it's only questionable. Back up to you.
Roses to kickoff. Boston Scott stationed at the goal line. Here is the kickoff. It is high, and this one will bounce once in the end zone and then roll beyond the baseline. So the Eagles 1st and 10, moving right to left at their own 25-yard line. They've moved the ball better early in the game. Giants have really been all over them lately. But let's see if the Eagles can pick it up and do something to generate some excitement.
First two possessions, they moved the ball. First possession, turn it over on downs. Second possession, they got a field goal out of it. They haven't been able to do anything since then.
3-3 the score. 5:16 remaining here in the first half. Boston Scott, the single setback. Slot to the far side. Lone receiver to the near side. Motion to the near side. Wentz on first down fakes. He's back. He fires, and it is complete. Up to the 35-yard line to Goddard.
Yeah, Goddard scoops this thing off of his shoelaces. He runs a nice little square-in route.
It'll be just short, I believe. It'll be second down in inches.
He gets open right in front of the safety buffet, but that ball is right on the shoelaces.
Wentz in the gun. Scott to his left.
Good time for a shot play.
This time it goes to Boston Scott, who tries to get outside, doesn't get much, but gets enough for the first down as he comes to the 37-yard line, where Alec Ogletree makes the stop after a 2-yard gain.
See, I think that's the perfect time to throw the ball down the field. You want to get some shot plays. When you're in a 2nd and 1 situation, you know that you can get 1 yard. On second down, take a shot. Give one of those guys on the outside an opportunity to make a play downfield.
Deontay Burnett enters the game, split to the near side, slot to the far side. The wide man is Greg Ward. Ball up at the 37-yard line. Eagles own 37. 3-3 the score. Wentz in the gun. He fakes, he looks, he screens it to Scott, who leaps and makes the catch, beats his man, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, down to the 35, goes dynamic Boston Scott.
Yeah, that's the explosion in this offense, and we've seen that over the past few weeks. Boston Scott has to get a chip on the linebacker who's coming in to get after Carson Wentz, and Wentz just gets it over to Scott. And boy, when he gets it, he gets an escort down the sideline.
That was the Comcast Business Beyond Fast play. Learn how to take your business beyond fast at ComcastBusiness.com. 1st and 10 at the 35. Wentz in the gun again. He's back. He looks. He fires. Complete to Deontay Burnett, who makes his first catch as an Eagle and takes it down to the 38. Now, who is Deontay Burnett? He was picked up by the Jets last year.
He's been picked up by everybody.
And Josh McCown, who was with the Jets at the time, was impressed with his work in several games. So he was picked up this week, and the Eagles have him. Here he is. It is second down and 3. Wentz again in the gun. Boston Scott to his left. Wentz back. Here comes the rush again. He fires, and he knifes it in there, and the catch made by Robert Davis.
Nope.
Now they say he caught it against, he trapped it. He trapped it at the 15-yard line. Not a clean catch.
Well, Deontay Burnett was originally signed by the Tennessee Titans, an undrafted free agent out of Southern Cal. He was there for a little while, then ended up with the Jets, was short stay with the 49ers this season, and you're right. Josh McCown knew the kid from when he was with the Jets. He suggested that they bring him in. Now he's on the roster.
It is 3rd and 3. Eagles only 1 for 6 on 3rd down conversions. Wentz in the gun. Scott to his right. Wentz slips it off to Scott. Scott plunges forward and has the first. Well, it's going to be very close. It depends on where they position the ball and say his knee hit. He is very close
Yeah, he's right on that mark. It's going to really depend on the spot, and they're going to quickly get to the line.
Wentz under center, and Wentz sneaks forward, and he has the first down.
Yeah, that's the move. Carson just quickly got everybody to the line of scrimmage because he saw it was going to be a fourth down, and a good surge by the offensive line, and now a fresh set of downs.
2:33 remaining to be played here in the first half. You would like to see the Eagles put a touchdown on the board before halftime.
Well, they're bringing in an extra big this time. Andre Dillard, the rookie, coming in now as an extra lineman, so they'll have 6 offensive linemen.
Is eligible.
He's a tackle eligible.
Has reported eligible.
Everybody tight except for Greg Ward, who is split out to the near side of the field. Wentz under center. Scott behind him. On first down, Wentz fakes to Scott. He's rolling. He's looking. Still rolling. Fires across the field. And it's caught for a touchdown. Josh Perkins. A 24-yard touchdown pass from Carson Wentz, who only threw it from about the 25, but he threw it 47 yards across the field.
Well, it's only a 2-man route. They scissor. You get Perkins coming from one side, and you get Greg Ward coming from the other side, and it's a long throw, but it gets there. Perkins into the end zone for a touchdown.
That could be the play of the game, brought to you by Delaware Valley Acura Dealers. To experience precision-crafted performance for yourself, stop by your local Delaware Valley Acura dealer for a test drive or visit DelawareValleyAcuraDealers.com.
Finally a touchdown.
About time. Here is the extra point. Eagles finally get on the board with a touchdown. Spotted, kicked up, and it is good. We will get the 2-minute warning with the score.
This is a 2-minute warning. I'm out.
Eagles 10, the Giants 3 on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank.
Richie, 10-2 on WIP.
The good news of the touchdown is outweighed by the bad news of Brandon Brooks, the Eagles' best offensive lineman this year, injured on the extra point. And they are having him get into the cart. Here is a guy who tore his Achilles in the playoff game last year at New Orleans and worked his way back into action by training camp. It was almost miraculous. Now he is hurt again, and we don't know how serious it is. But you know that when he is leaving the field on a cart, it is certainly significant.
It's very serious, and he's holding his right arm as if he wants to keep that in one place. And the bench is starting to empty because guys want to go out and pay their respects to Brandon Brooks, one of the best guys on this football team and certainly one of the best players.
He is leaving on the cart.
And he's got one of the trainers on his right side holding that right arm, trying to make sure that he gets no more movement from that right arm. So obviously that's where the problem is, in that area.
Yeah, so it's not a re-tearing of the Achilles or a leg injury. It appears to be, it could be a torn bicep.
Boy, he ripped his helmet off right away, and that's a scary thing.
Yep. 1:52 remaining to be played. The injuries on this team this season have been absolutely extensive. Week after week after week, and we're talking about some key players.
And that's why I give so much credit to this coaching staff, their ability to fill in people and make sure that there are people that are ready, and even guys that most of us never even heard of. They end up playing an important role. Joshua Perkins just scored the first touchdown of this game. A perfect case.
Yeah, earlier, one of the players who kept this drive going was Deontay Burnett.
Who?
Hey, you haven't met him yet, I'm sure. Here is the kickoff by Jake Elliott, and it is going to be taken at the goal line. And now comes Damari Scott to the 10 and just gets across the 15. That's it. The special teams are terrific. Dave Phipp has a group. He calls the Fab Five, and that consists of Duke Riley, T.J. Edwards, Alex Singleton, Craig James, and Nate Gary, and they are his core special teamers.
Yep, and they fly.
Fab Five.
You know, he's got them on nearly every team, and they fly to the football.
1st and 10 Giants at their own 17. 1:46 remaining here in the first half. 10-3, Eagles lead. Empty backfield. Barkley split to the far side as a receiver. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun for Daniel Jones, who takes the snap, backpedals, goes over the middle, and completes it to Tate for a short gain. Up to about the 23-yard line. Pickup of 6. Clock running. 1:34, 1:33. In the gun again. Jones drops. He swings it out on the far side of the field, and running with it and picking up a first down is Barkley before he is knocked out of bounds. Pravon LeBlanc accounted for him, 7 yards. Eagles will give them the short completions.
Well, and these are the situations where the Eagles will play off a little bit more and give up a lot of yards, and sometimes it's too much. You allow teams to get in scoring territory.
Each team has all of their timeouts. In the gun again goes Daniel Jones. Slot to the near side, lone receiver to the far side. Ball up at the 30-yard line. Jones falling for the football, takes the snap and backpedals. Looks right, looks left, pumps, fires, and it is complete up to the 35-yard line, and being grabbed and pulled down at about the 35-yard line after a pickup of 5 is Darius Slayton. Puts the Giants in a 2nd down and 5. Clock ticking. We will get under the minute mark. In the gun again is Jones. He's back. He's looking. He is going deep down the far side of the field, and it is incomplete. Intended for Slayton, covered on the play by Rasul Douglas.
It's a really nice job by Rasul, not only running with Slayton, but not panicking. When he sees Slayton going up for the football, he's not grabbing, he's not pushing, he's not panicking, and that's what you see a lot of cornerbacks do in that situation, start to panic and give up a big play when it's unnecessary.
Giants are 0 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. Lining up again is Daniel Jones. Sterling Shepard out to the far side of the field. Now he may be audibilizing. He's got Barkley to his right. Jones back, looks right, still looking, firing, and he completes it to the tight end Smith across midfield into Eagles territory at the 48. He had pressure, Mike, and he threw that ball well.
Well, he got the ball out quickly. That's the main thing. You know, Caden Smith's got an outside receiver that clears a lot of space for him to run that little corner route, and Jones just fits it in there.
Don't forget the Giants will receive the opening kickoff. They deferred in the second half. In the gun again is Daniel Jones with 47 seconds to go here in the first half, in possession of all of his timeouts. Jones again in the gun. He's back. He steps up. He is letting it fly down the far sideline, and it is out of bounds. Incomplete. In coverage down there, again, was Rasul Douglas, and the intended receiver was Darius Slayton.
Pretty impressive job the corners have done so far in this football game. You know, you look at what other teams have been able to do against this secondary. They've taken them apart, especially in one-on-one coverage, but they're holding up extremely well today on the outside in man coverage.
Latimer to the far side, Shepard to the near side, Tate in the slot. It is 2nd down and 10. Jones in the gun. Jones back, pumps, fires, complete, incomplete, I believe. It is incomplete.
Yep.
Catching the football for the moment was Caden Smith, but then he was pounded by Rodney McLeod and separated from the ball.
That is exactly right. It's just a little turnout route by the tight end Smith, but Rodney McLeod gets there about the same time the football gets there, and he makes sure that Smith doesn't hold on to it.
It is 3rd and 10 for the Giants at the Eagles' 47. Slot to the near side, lone receiver to the far side. Jones in the gun. Barkley to his left. Jones. Long count. Back. Setting up. Pumping. He starts to run. Now he fires it into an open space, incomplete. He was being pressured by Josh Sweat. And will the Giants punt? They will.
I tell you, with the 4-man front this time, it's an outstanding job of breaking down the pocket by that 4-man pressure package and forcing Jones to get on the horse, get on the run, and then Sweat getting him out of the pocket, forcing that early throw.
In the punt is Riley Dixon. In the return is Greg Ward.
Solid job by the defense, forcing this punt.
Here is the punt. It is away, end over end. Greg Ward lets it go, and it bounces across, well, it's down at the 10. Might have gone further. One of the Giants who wasn't looking, Cody Core, had it hit him in the knee, and then it's down at the 10-yard line. Eagles Kids Club is the perfect gift for the young Eagles fan in your life. Members receive an awesome welcome kit, access to exclusive events, and much more for just $20. Join now at PhiladelphiaEagles.com/Kids Club. All right, Mike, we'll go down to Howard, and then I want to hear your philosophy with 23 seconds to go in the half. Down to Howard.
All right, Merrill, as far as Brandon Brooks, it's a shoulder injury. He's questionable return, but normally they wait till the second half to give you the real medical update, so it doesn't sound good. Back up to you.
Wentz under center. Boston Scott behind him. Receiver split. Maybe he takes one shot. Nope. He hands it off to Boston Scott, who wiggles up across the 10 to the 11. Brought down by Julian Love, and I think they're just going to let the...
Timeout.
No.
Giants.
Giants take the timeout.
30-second timeout.
That's surprising.
For who?
For what?
Please reset the game clock to 19 seconds. 1-9, please.
Giants want it one more time.
Really, Pat?
I don't know. 13-6. Jets beat Buffalo today. 27-24. Miami beat New England, and New England did not go through the motions because they had something at stake. And what they did was they lost their bye. So they have to play next weekend. Chicago 21, Minnesota 19. Those are finals. New Orleans 42-10 over Carolina. Green Bay just beat Detroit 23-20. For the Eagles, it is second down and 8. Wentz under center. Wentz turns and gives it to Scott again, who powers up the middle across the 15, up to the 16, and the Giants use their second timeout with 15 seconds to go.
Giants, their second. 30 seconds in length.
Puts the Eagles in a third down and 4.
And how do you explain this?
Cowboys leading the Redskins 20-3. So the Eagles have to win this game for all practical purposes, unless the Redskins play like some team other than the Redskins, and that's unlikely. Pittsburgh 7-6 over Baltimore in the second quarter. Tennessee 14-7 over Houston. Rams 17-7 over Arizona. These are all second quarter scores. Wentz under center on third down and 4. Slot to the far side. Wentz comes up, looks, says something to Boston Scott. It is third down and 4 with 15 seconds to go. Wentz comes back and he fakes, and he rolls, and he fires, and it's incomplete. Threw it in the direction of Goddard, and the Eagles will punt now with 10 seconds. At least 5 seconds came off the clock.
Well, he changes the play at the line of scrimmage and wants to try and run the little naked to the outside and get the ball to Dallas Goedert, but he gets pressure in his face right away from Lorenzo Carter. And
unfortunately,
just couldn't get it.
The Giants didn't have to use their last timeout. So it would have been better off to just run the football or for Carson to fall down. In the punt. Cameron Johnston in the return. Damari Scott. This one is away. It is end over end. It bounces across the 40, rolls and rolls and rolls, and takes us down to the end of the first half. So that worked out just fine.
This is the end of the first half.
It is.
Timeout.
With the score, the Eagles 10, the Giants 3. The second half kickoff brought to you by Ford. Ford F-150 is the only pickup built with a high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy cabin bed. Check it out at your local Ford store today. Jake Elliott kicks off. It is high and end over end, moving to the right and catching it is Latimer. Out to the 5, the 10, the 15, 20, and he is brought down shy of the 25. Who needs to get hot? Brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White Water Heaters are American strong and built to be the best. Find the plumbing contractor near you. Visit BradfordWhite.com.
Well, at the rate that we're seeing Eagles go down, I want the training staff to get hot. That's all I can think of. They're playing, it's a really good first half. They have to continue to play defense the way they're playing defense.
The Eagles lead 10-3 as we begin the second half. In the gun, again, Daniel Jones. Jones gives it to Barkley, tries to get outside. Avonte Maddox after him and holds him to about a 4-yard gain. Second half adjustments brought to you by Tower Health. Tower Health is proud to support our home team and connect you to your healthiest. Discover more at towerhealth.org. Listen to this, Mike. On the game, Saquon Barkley now has 6 carries for 7 yards.
Well, he just had his most productive carry. He picked up 6 yards on that run. He was able to bounce it to the outside, and that's what you don't want to let happen. Him bounce the ball to the outside. Avonte Maddox gets him out, but Avonte Maddox then comes off the field.
It is 2nd down and 4. Jones back, looks, fires, and he completes it to Caden Smith, who then drops it and then goes down and gets it. Now, it's going to be incomplete or a catch and a fumble recovered by the Giants. Now, there's a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
Let's see about this.
There's going to be a hold on the penalty because on the release, Sidney Jones just wasn't going to be beaten, so he just grabs the receiver that's releasing into the flat.
Officials meeting on the far side of the field. The rain has gained intensity.
Boy, but Caden Smith, the tight end, he takes a shot on the play.
While the quarterback still had the ball, holding, defense number 22. That penalty is declined because the result of the play was a catch and a first down for the Giants.
So he picks it up.
Well, when he fumbled the football, fortunately for him, it bounced right back to him.
So it is 1st and 10 Giants up at their 42. Eagles lead by a touchdown at 10-3.
Is eligible. 77 reported eligible.
Giants go with a tackle eligible. Under center this time is Daniel Jones again. Jones turns, fakes to Barkley, goes back, fires, and it is incomplete. Tried to go over the middle to Sterling Shepard. Had his hands on it but couldn't hold it. The Eagles playing tight coverage. Malcolm Jenkins there.
Well, they go maximum protection, the Giants do, and it's just a 2-man route, and the coverage is pretty good, and this is just an off throw by Daniel Jones.
Now comes T.J. Edwards as the Eagles insert another defensive back in Cravon LeBlanc. For the Giants, it is 2nd down and 10, up at their 42. We've played a minute here in the 3rd quarter. In the gun is Daniel Jones. Motion to the near side of the field. Jones slips it off to Barkley, tries to find running room and finds nothing. Picks up 1 yard before he meets Nigel Bradham. Nigel Bradham said, "Not against me, you don't." He puts him right down.
Well, that's really good team defense because Saquon wants to bounce the ball. He wants to get in space, and they want to try to get him in space. If you don't allow him to get in space, you're able to get hats to him and bottle him up.
Giants are 1 for 7 on 3rd down conversions. They have to get to the Eagles' 48 to pick up the first down here. Daniel Jones lines them up with 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Lone receiver goes with the tight end to the far side. Now puts Shepard in motion. He goes into the gun. Jones slapping his hands. Now there's movement. Are the Eagles offsides or the Giants move? Let's see. I think there might have been movement on the part of the Giants.
And what generally happens, that side's going to point to you.
Defense number 96. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
I could see movement by the Giants, but the officials couldn't.
Well, and Derek Barnett, he wants to agree with you because Derek Barnett, quick on the draw and into their backfield and giving them a free 5 yards.
Yeah, they did. 3rd down and 5. He waited till he saw the movement, and then he came across the line of scrimmage, but the officials did not call it. Here we go. It is 3rd down and 5 for the Giants at their own 47. Jones in the gun again. Barkley to his right. Jones calling for the football. He's back. Here comes the rush. Penalty flag down as Jones fires and completes it for a first down, but we'll see about the flag. I have a feeling it's against the Eagles.
It is. And this time it was Josh Sweat who jumped off the left side.
Yep.
Offside. Defense number 94. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down for the Giants.
But those are successive offsides penalties against the Eagles, and you cannot do that. You've got to play with poise.
Well, they're starting to get hits. They're getting pressure on Daniel Jones, so it's naturally going to make these guys want to go a little harder, but you have to be smarter. It happened from the right end and then from the left end.
It is 1st and 10 Giants in Eagles territory. Jones again in the shotgun. On 1st down, Jones is back. He fakes to Barkley. He's looking. He has time. He has all day. He lets it fly and completes it to his tight end, down at the 40. Caden Smith has suddenly become a factor in this game. He picks up 6 yards or 7 yards on that play.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time on that play for Daniel Jones to find a target. He has time to survey the entire field, all the left side, and then finally goes
Number
back to the right side.
Is eligible. 77 reported eligible.
He does. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 as they move it to the Eagles' 42. Under center this time is Jones. He's got Barkley behind him, generally just giving it to Barkley. Picks up the first down here. He does go back to Barkley, and Barkley slings forward, and it's not automatic. We'll see. He looks a little short, Mike. What do you think Nigel Bradham got in front of him?
I think he picked it up.
I don't.
I hope you're right.
I think I am.
I think you are.
It'll be 3rd down and a half yard. I think for the Giants in their situation, this is 4 down territory. Spencer Pulley lines up as a tight end. Jones under center. It is 3rd and 1. Tight formation. Jones to Barkley. He is hit, and I don't know. He's very close. Boy, they had to hold him for about a half yard.
Timmy Jernigan thinks that he was able to do that.
He does.
Timmy Jernigan gets into the backfield, and he grabs him up around his shoulder pads almost immediately.
Yeah, he doesn't pick it up.
And, yeah, it's going to go to 4th down.
And he loses a half yard.
Oh, this crunch time for sure. So for your pregame, your in-game, or your post-game cravings, keep it Philly with her snacks.
Giants making some changes. You would think they would just give it again to Barkley. He eventually is going to pick up a yard. Under center is Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and they're all...
Timeout.
Listen.
Giants, they're first of the half.
They got a fire drill going on over there, so Pat Shermer decides to call a timeout to try and reassess the situation.
Timeout on the field with the score. The Eagles 10, the Giants 3. Twice the Giants had 1 yard to go. 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and the defense was a brick wall in the face of Saquon Barkley. Now the Giants are going for it 4th and 1 at the Eagles 37. Motion, Latimer on 4th and 1. Jones back, fakes. He is rolling. He's going to run and make it easily, and he runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Daniel Jones is very mobile, and he caught the Eagles napping as he gave a token fake inside, took off outside, and ran for 17 yards.
And it's a smart play call by Pat Shermer.
It
because
was.
You know the guy has mobility. He gets out on the edge, and there's nobody there because everyone is pinched down inside to stop a 1 yard pickup. Well, he gets a lot on the edge.
Now the Giants are just 20 yards away from tying this game. 9:58 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Eagles have not been on the field yet offensively in this half. Under center is Jones. Jones fakes, looks, pumps, starts to run, firing for the end zone, and it is caught by Golden Tate. Touchdown, penalty flag thrown, but let's see. Let's see. Is it pass interference against the Eagles?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Rasul Douglas committed pass interference, and Golden Tate hauled it in.
Pass interference, defense number 32. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown for the Giants.
And just like that, the Giants were an extra point away from tying this game.
And Rasul Douglas is in really good position. The fault of Rasul Douglas, he never looks to play the football. If he looks back to play the football, as soon as he gets in phase with Golden Tate, he's going to intercept the ball or at least knock it down. But he's going to face guard and wait for a reaction and try and play the hands of Tate, where you don't get a reaction because he's smart enough to realize that that's what you want to do.
Here is Aldrich Rosas for the tying point. He's missed several extra points. Now this one is up, and this one is good. Timeout on the field with the score. The Eagles 10, the Giants 10 on the Eagles Radio Network. Presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94 WIP. The Eagles defense that has been very, very good throughout this game finally cried uncle as the Giants marched all the way down and scored on a 20-yard touchdown pass to Golden Tate and have tied the game 10 apiece with 9:41 to go here in regulation, or in the third quarter. 9:41 to go in the third quarter. I can imagine they're cheering in Dallas where the Cowboys are leading the Redskins. Boston Scott lining up to return the kickoff. It is a line drive, and it is deep and out of the end zone. Down to Howard.
All right, Merrill, the last defensive series, Brandon Graham walked right to the locker room. No word on what the injury is, but when you go right to the locker room, that doesn't sound good. And Miles Sanders never came back on the field at halftime. No official word on whether he's out, but the fact that he didn't come back out at halftime is not a good indication. Back up to you.
So since this game began, they are without three of their best players, Brandon Brooks, Miles Sanders, and Brandon Graham. 1st and 10 Eagles from their own 25. Wentz lines them up. It's Boston Scott day. He's to the left of Wentz. Wentz spreads his receivers. Slot to the near side, lone receiver to the far side. Wentz on first down goes back. He swings it out to Perkins. Perkins straight arms a man and is bounced out of bounds at the 30, and that will be a personal foul on the Giants for a late hit. Alec Ogletree cost the Giants 15 yards.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Defense number 31. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Oh, they call a horse collar. Horse
they're
collar.
Call that on Michael Thomas
No,
on
they
the
called it
horse collar, and you get Ogletree coming out to help on the play, but he hits him just in bounds.
Yeah. So it's 15 yards. So the Eagles got a big break there. Now they're up at the 45. 1st and 10. Up at the 45. Moving left to right as the rain is coming down very steadily. Slot to the far side with Perkins inside of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who has not been targeted in this game. Under center is Wentz. Ward in motion, right to left. Wentz on first down, takes his drop, stops, fires. It's low and incomplete. Intended for Dallas Goedert. Again, the pass rush was in his face, Mike.
No, he has time and space to step into this throw. He just misses on the throw. I can't tell if that ball was tipped, but I don't even think it was tipped.
I don't think
He's got Dallas Goedert there. You just got to make that throw.
It looked almost like it slipped partially out of his hand. Slot to the far side again. Ward to the near side. 2nd and 10 from their own 45. 10-10 to score. Ward in motion. Wentz slings it to Ward on an end around, and it will lose yardage.
Lorenzo Carter is not sucked up at all by the inside action. He comes up the field. Now this is a play where you're not going to block Carter because you think you're going to outflank him before he has an opportunity to make the play. Well, he gets up the field and he throws his offense for a big loss.
Big loss. Now the Eagles have a 3rd down and 17.
Yeah, and they're only 1 for 8 on 3rd down, converting 3rd downs.
That is awful and uncharacteristic. Whiteside to the far side. Slot to the near side. Burnett to the near side. Back goes Wentz. He's looking. He is going deep, and it is incomplete. Now, Burnett was sandwiched between two Giants, but there was no penalty flag thrown. Mike, I don't think he was free to get loose.
I didn't see any interference, but Burnett's got to do a much better job of going up and high-pointing the football. There's a guy in front of him. There's a guy behind him, but he never slows down to try and high-point the football. You've got to find that ball at its peak and go up and make a play on the ball.
In the punt, Cameron Johnston. In the return, Golden Tate. 10-10 the score. Eagles had a big break and couldn't take advantage. Here is the punt by Johnston. It is a high soaring punt. Tate backs up, takes it at the 12, starts forward and gets as far as the 17. Timeout on the field with the score, 10-10. It's cold, it's wet. It's down to a soaked Howard Eskin.
Wet and cold. It is a little wet and cold. All right, good news and bad news. The good news, Brandon Graham has returned. but the bad news is the offense. They have lost 2 key players. Miles Sanders and Brandon Brooks are out for the rest of the game. Back up to you.
10-10 in a game that means everything to the Eagles. Win or the season is over. 1st and 10 Giants at their own 18. Daniel Jones gives it off to Barkley, and Barkley again is put down after a minimal gain by Nathan Gary. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Well, that first possession coming out after halftime, the Giants were able to just move the ball down the field, get a touchdown on that possession, and it just makes the game completely different now. But they're still able to bottle up Saquon Barkley, 10 carries on the day for just 13 yards.
Giants are minus 15 this season in turnovers. That's awful, but they haven't turned it over today. Jones takes the snap again. He's back. He steps up. He is going deep, and it is caught by Slayton across midfield in Eagles territory down at the 44. Slayton, who burned the Eagles for touchdown catches of 25 and 55 yards in Philadelphia, has just hauled in a 33-yarder.
Well, he didn't do much last week, but he's starting to warm up. He runs a corner route and he gets Rasul Douglas going across the field on a post move, and he goes back the other way. Daniel Jones pays for it, though, because he takes a shot at the end of that play.
1st and 10 at the Eagles' 43. Another running play. No. Jones with the same fake carries the football for 8 yards. He caught them earlier, and he caught them again. He fooled them for the 2nd time, and it was a great fake. I'll admit, my eyes were on Barkley, and he just took off around end.
And Sidney Jones, the cornerback, as well as the defensive end, there's no contain at all, because on that play-action fake, everyone wants to get to Saquon Barkley because you know you have to stop him. Well, that just opens up the outside for Daniel Jones.
1st and 10 Giants. Or no, it's going to be 2nd and 1 Giants at the Eagles' 36. Jones in motion. 2nd and 1. He gives off to Barkley. He is hit once, he is hit twice, and he is driven back for a loss. Now we'll see where forward progress was, but Anthony Rush hit him first.
Yeah, and he's going to lose a couple of yards on the play.
Loses two.
They keep drilling him back once they stop him, but they get into the backfield and wrap up Saquon Barkley. He's having a tough day.
Puts the Giants in a 3rd and 4, and again, with nothing to lose, I would assume, Mike, that they're in 4-down territory. I'd be surprised to see them punt, even if they're out of field goal range.
Anthony Rush makes it tough to block him at 350 pounds. He just whips the center.
And the gun, Daniel Jones. Waiting for the snap, he takes it. He's back. Here comes the rush. He pumps. He is firing, and it is incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Shepard, way underthrown. And do they punt? They haven't sent the punting team on yet.
And again, it's the pressure that gets into Daniel Jones' face after he slides, and just couldn't get enough on it. Sidney Jones, good coverage. He was beaten initially on the play, but caught up to the football.
Pat Shurmur is going to let the offense go once again. It would be a big stop for the Eagles right here. Big, because they would have good field position. 10-10 the score. 5:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Brandon Graham re-enters the game. Jones in the shotgun. Barkley to his right. Jones back, steps up. Here comes the rush. He dumps it off, and it's incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Shepard. He took a wallop from Rodney McLeod and Crevan LeBlanc.
Yeah, LeBlanc makes a great play here. After Jones extends it, slides to his left, LeBlanc driving on the throw.
So the Eagles take over on downs. Time.
As reported eligible. 77 is eligible.
10-10 the score. 5:32 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Eagles 1st and 10. Ball at their own 38. Wentz under center. Boston Scott behind him. On 1st down, it is a handoff to Scott. Up the middle he goes, and he is across the 45-yard line with a pickup of 7. Little Boston Scott brought down by Michael Thomas. Make it 8 yards on first down.
And, you know, that's the type of movement that you need on first down. The offensive line just blowing them off the football. And when you get that type of production on first down, that's when you start to be effective on third downs.
Wentz in the shotgun with Scott to his left. It is 2nd down and 2. Wentz on 2nd down. Fakes, looks, fires. Caught at midfield by Greg Ward. The ball thrown low, but Greg Ward reached down and sure-handed it for a 5-yard gain on the first down. Stats brought to you by PNC Bank. PNC Bank committed to helping Philadelphians take action today so you can reach your financial goals tomorrow. PNC, make today the day. 1st and 10 Eagles, just in Giants territory. 10-10 the score, 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Wentz again in the gun. Wentz fakes, back, looks, fires, complete, wide open. And who else? Greg Ward inside the 40 and out of bounds at the 38, pushed out by Love.
You know, when they find that matchup, they have to go to him. Earlier in the game, it was Greg Ward against Julian Love. He's a safety. He can play some corner, but when you see that matchup, you have to take advantage of that with Greg Ward.
Wentz under center. Ward in the 4-side slot. Single setback. Boston Scott on first down. Wentz gives off to Scott. Scott looks for running room, and he powers himself as much as he can because he was hit at the line of scrimmage. Still managed to get it to the 36-yard line where Marcus Golden made the stop after about a 2.5-yard gain.
Yeah, he sees that there's nothing there, so he's patient. But right away, Golden's coming off the edge, so he puts his head down.
It is 2nd down and 8. Cowboys lead the Redskins in the third quarter, 20-13. Wentz in the gun again. He's back, he looks, he fires, and it's incomplete this time. He tried to get this one over to Robert Davis, but he was hit as the ball arrived by Antonio Hamilton, and it puts the Eagles in a very difficult third down, but a very important third down.
Very little production again on first down, and that's when you find yourself in a third when it's a little tougher.
Eagles 1 for 9 on third down.
And against this man coverage, you got to stack the routes or you got to run a bunch set and try and get some rubs or picks against these guys.
Have to get to the Giants 28 for a first down. Wentz looks over, shouts out the play. 3 receivers right. Back goes Wentz. Here comes the rush. He is looking. He is floating it. And it is caught by Goddard. No, they say yes. Yes, he has it. Goddard has it at the 22-yard line. Goddard.
Listen, and they're going to hurry up the tempo because they don't want to review just in case he didn't get both feet in, but he does. He dodged the eye with that back foot, and he's able to get this team closer to pay dirt.
It is 1st and 10 for the Eagles. They are at the Giants' 22-yard line. Wentz again on the gun. Slot to the far side. Wing to the near side. Wentz fakes. He's back. He steps up. He is going incomplete. He tried to get this one to Perkins at the goal line. The ball thrown a little bit high. Perkins has the Eagles' touchdown, the 1 touchdown. That was on a 24-yard touchdown pass that was clear across the field.
Well, this is a play that we've seen many times by this Eagles offense where Carson's going to look left and let Perkins work over that guy, usually that's Zach Ertz.
77 is eligible.
And Perkins
recorded eligible.
Worked his way open, but that ball's just thrown high.
Wentz under center. Scott behind him. Whiteside out to the far side. Perkins to the near side. Perkins in motion. Instead, the handoff to Scott. Up the middle. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. He's at the 8. He's at the 7-6-5. Boston Scott up the middle for 15. Is he too much? Eagles in the Mealy's red zone. $100 donation to Justice Rescue. Big blocks. Pryor, Ciamalo, and Kelsey.
Ciamalo in the middle. Matt Pryor is now in because there's no Brandon Brooks. And, boy, they really create a crease. Boston Scott now 10 carries, 40 yards, picking up the slack.
Whiteside and Ward to the far side. In the gun, Wentz. Scott to his right. 1st and goal. Ball at the 7. Wentz comes back, gives it to Scott again. He is pushing. He is in for a touchdown. Boston Scott did it.
Yeah, that's a great offensive line, and that surge created by the offensive line. Boston Scott comes in behind those big guys. Matt Pryor, again, another great block. and Scott gets right behind him and then just slithers into the end zone.
Every Eagles touchdown proudly driven by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com. In Philadelphia, 3 weeks ago, it was Scott who was the spark plug, and he has done it again in this third quarter. How about Boston Scott?
He is outstanding. It's fun to watch him play. He's so small.
Extra point is away. It is up, and it is good. And the Eagles have a one-touchdown lead.
Matched up with all of those big guys, you get Boston Scott running behind Matt Pryor. Matt Pryor gets a lot of space for him. You know, Matt Pryor is moving people around. Brandon Brooks goes out, and what do? Right away, they bring in a guy, and they don't miss a beat because Jeff Stoutland has done an outstanding job of training all of these linemen, and Matt Pryor giving them the great snaps that they need.
That was the Great Hands play of the game, sponsored by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. De-stress after the game with massages and facials starting at $59.95. That's at handandstone.com.
Oh, you're talking about the Dallas Goedert catch.
Yep, that was Dallas Goedert. Here's John Russell with an NFL update.
Earlier today, Merrill, the Packers clinch a first-round bye with their win over Detroit. Lions didn't make it easy, 23-20 the final. And the Saints also go to 13-3. A win by the Seahawks over San Fran tonight would give New Orleans the other first-round bye. You love everything Riemental does for you. Riemental sells more, so you save more on every new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram in stock.
He's out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, and up to the 30. So Corey Latimer gives the Giants good field position. He's pushed out by Nathan Gary. Now those spotted out, they say he went out of bounds at the 32.
Well, and that's what the Eagles needed. You know, after the Giants got the first possession, drove down the field and scored points, now the Eagles able to match that, driving down, and Boston Scott once again being the spark on that drive. 9 plays, 62 yards, and a 7-yard touchdown run.
But they have to shut down the Giants. Giants have been moving, and the Eagles have been committing penalties. On first down, this time it goes to Barkley again. He's got yardage. He's going to go. He's at the 40, 30, 20. Saquon Barkley just put the Giants back into an almost tie with a huge 70-yard, 68-yard run.
Listen, he knew it when he got to the second level of the defense. When he got out to the linebackers, he knew that he was going to outrun Nigel Bradham and everyone else. He threw his hand up and just raced to the end zone, did Saquon Barkley.
You could see it. You could see him turn on those jets. So here were the Eagles with a long drive to take the lead, and the Giants are an extra point away from making it 17-17.
Yeah, the Giants have players that can do it in one strike.
Oh, they did right there. You knew that Barkley would get yards. Here is the extra point, spotted, kicked up, and good.
One play, 68 yards. After holding him down the entire first half and almost the third quarter, Saquon Barkley breaks out.
Mike, he was averaging about a yard a carry. So, again, more tension.
When you're playing good team defense and everybody's in the gap, this doesn't happen, but this is what happens when they're able to get you out of your gap. It's a block down on Brandon Graham. It's a kick out against Nathan Gary, and it just created that crease. And Nigel Bradham coming over from the middle linebacker spot couldn't get there in time. Really good blocking by the Giants.
So the Eagles put together a great drive, and in one long kickoff return and a breakaway run by Saquon Barkley, we are tied again at 17. Boston Scott at the goal line. But Rosas has been kicking it out of the end zone. Here is the kickoff. This is another high, deep kickoff, and it will go out of the end zone. So they will bring it out to the 25, and Carson Wentz will again go to work. Eagles had been so tight and tough defensively for much of this game so far until that break. And, of course, they had the touchdown pass after Jones pulled off a big run, and they had the 20-yard touchdown pass to Golden Tate. The Eagles with 3 tight ends. Wentz lines them up at the 25. Scott, the single setback. Wentz under center. Perkins in motion. First down. Wentz rolling, looking, pumping, firing. He's got Scott, who comes across the 30 and goes out of bounds at the 31. That's 6 yards, Mike, on first down.
And that's what you want. Now, he's looking downfield. He's got Dallas Scott. He's got Richard. He's got all these guys coming out to the outside zone to try and flood that zone to the right. When he didn't have to play downfield, he just drops it down.
Number 77, reported eligible. 77 is eligible.
Out to the far side, Rob Davis. Wentz under center. Perkins in motion. This time the give is to Scott. Forget it. Eagles will lose 2 yards. Once too often they went to Boston Scott, and this time Marcus Golden sat on him and made him disappear.
And it's just, you bring in Andre Dillard and you want to have the young guy get some snaps, but he was just whipped by Marcus Golden. And really it's more speed than power Golden uses here to get around him and get a stop for a loss.
It is 3rd down and 6. Eagles have to get to the 35 for a first down. 3rd and 6. Goddard to the near side of the field. Wentz in the gun. 3 receivers left. Wentz puts it in the air, completes it, has the first down. On a quick slant, he just guns it, and it is Greg Ward once again, this time for an 8-yard reception.
Yeah, right between the defenders, you get Greg Ward. The guy's been around enough to understand zone versus man, and he sits it down in a really nice, soft area. Perkins on the inside.
Reported eligible. 77 is eligible.
Perkins on the inside, able to really help to clear space. Ward now 6 receptions, 43 yards.
1st and 10, Eagles up across the 35. Jordan Howard in the game for the first time. Motion, Greg Ward. Wentz under center on first down. He fakes. He's back. He steps up. Penalty flag down. He's looking for Rob Davis, who makes the catch inside the 25, down near the 20. But there's a penalty flag, and I think it's coming back. I think it's holding.
I think the Giants agree with you.
Offense number 72. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Rob Davis just made a great catch, and Wentz just threw a great pass, but all for naught.
Well, and if you look back at the plays that Rob Davis has made in this league, this is the type of play. Going up over people, catching the football, and that's why you have to take those shots down the field. Yes, this is going to come back on a hold, but the positive is you see that this young man can make that sort of play.
That was the correct call. Marcus Golden was tackled by Ty. End of the third quarter with the score. The Eagles 17, the Giants 17. On the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day. There are 15 minutes left in this game. Call Geico, where 15 minutes can save you 15%. Eagles have beaten the Giants the last 6 times they have met. However, the Eagles aren't worried about a streak. They're worried about keeping the season alive. And with 15 minutes to go in regulation, they are knotted at 17 apiece. And the Eagles have a 1st and 20 after the holding penalty. Eagles moving right to left here in the fourth quarter. White jerseys, green pants. They have to get all the way to their own 47 for a first down. Wentz under center. Scott the single setback. This time play action. Wentz rolling. Looking. Still looking. He is firing deep. And it is caught. Caught by Burnett. Caught by Burnett. Deontay Burnett, the newest Eagle in Giants territory at the 32. What a throw, what a catch.
Same concept. They flood the outside zone on the right side, and Carson's got low guy, he's got a middle guy, he's got a deep guy in Burnett. Burnett outruns the corner, and Carson puts his ball in a spot where he can go and get it. A big, big play downfield.
1st and 10, Eagles at the Giants 32. Wentz lines them up. Perkins to the far side. 3 receivers, including Goddard, to the near side. Ward in the near side slot. Scott, position to the right of Wentz. On first down, Wentz back. Wentz looks, fires out to Scott. It's incomplete. If he had caught it, it would have been no gain because David Mayo was right over there with him, about to swat him down. Second down and 10. We are in the first minute of the fourth quarter. 17 apiece.
See, I like that play when you send him on the flat like that because with Mayo running that flat angle, it's going to be easy to get him on a wheel route down the sideline the next time.
Slot to the near side. Wentz again takes it, fakes, looks, firing, and it is incomplete, broken up. He was going that time for Perkins, and a good defensive play by Antonio Hamilton.
Yeah, that's a really good defensive play by Hamilton. Got to get that out in front of Perkins and not allowing Hamilton to get a play on the football.
3 for 11 on third downs. See what they do. Let's see if they can pick this up. They have to get down to the inside the Giants 22. 3 receivers to the near side. Perkins to the far side. Wentz in the gun. He's got Scott to his right. Wentz takes the snap. He's looking. He is floating it. He's got Ward, but Ward cannot hold on as he is attacked from behind by Julian Love. And so the field goal unit comes on.
Listen, again, they've got the matchup that they need, and they keep going to the right match, to the correct matchup. This ball just has to be out in front of him. The ball is behind Ward, and it gives Love an opportunity to drive on the football, get the football out. If that ball is out in front, it's a first down, and they're still moving.
Jake Elliott with a 50-yard field goal attempt. This is dangerous because if he misses, the Giants will have the ball at the 40. For the lead, ball spotted, kick away, and the kick is good! He hits it, 50 yards. Jake Elliott back on the beam. With that field goal, Direct Energy kicks in another $500 to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Direct Energy supports the community. Business.directenergy.com. One of their 55 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or visit handandstone.com. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spas are open every day. Escape at Hand and Stone.
See participating spa for details.
Rodney McLeod with us tomorrow at 1. Joe DeCamera and John Ritchie, 10 and 2 on WIP.
I'm in the radio.com app.
We are 1 minute and 2 seconds into the fourth quarter. Eagles up by 3, 20-17. Kickoff is high, and it is coming down in the end zone, and out of the end zone it goes. I want to share a great new concept that I'm using. It's called FlexDrive. It's a vehicle subscription program that delivers all the car and none of the commitment. Do what I did and download the FlexDrive app now. First and 10 Giants moving left to right in the fourth quarter. Ball at their 25-yard line. Eagles defense has got to start shutting them down.
Well, and Barkley went from 11 carries for 10 yards to 12 carries for now 78 yards rushing in the game.
Those are typical Barkley statistics, just not done in that manner. First and 10 Giants with all 3 receivers to the near side. Barkley to the left of Daniel Jones. Now the Eagles are going to go off sides again. Eagles scraping along the line of scrimmage, and I think it's going to be Anthony Rush who rushed too quickly.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 66. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They have now done this 3 times in this half, and it just makes it easy for the Giants to line up first and 5. You cannot keep doing that.
Yep.
7th penalty against the Eagles today for 55 yards, and that is a killer. Hopefully they can overcome that. They're up by 3 points, and the Giants have a first and 5 at the 30-yard line. Jones playing well with Barkley to his left. Jones fakes. He's back once again. He is hit, and down he goes. He is going to lose about 3 yards as the Eagles get to him and sack him. That is the second sack of Jones today, brought to you by Steakham, contributing to Stop Hunger in Philadelphia by donating $100 for every sack throughout the season to Phil Abundance.
Between Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, they just break this pocket down completely, and the pocket just caves in around Daniel Jones.
It is second down and 8. Jones has been picked off 11 times this season. This would be a good time for number 12. Jones with Barkley to his right. Motion, Golden Tate. Jones calling for the football. He fumbles it. He is hit. The football is fumbled. The Eagles are after it. And it is picked up again. And it is recovered down at the 1 by Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox down at the 1 yard line as Daniel Jones lost the football for the 11th time this season.
It's a great call by Jim Schwartz. He gets Malcolm Jenkins on a blitz. They get the football out, and the football is going towards the Eagles' end zone. They race down. Fletcher Cox gets on the ball. A huge opportunity for this Eagles football team.
That turnover brought to you by Impriano Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Let Jack Impriano and his team turn over your old roof with a brand new, beautiful roof. Visit Impriano.com.
So it's a low snap to start with, and Daniel Jones just didn't handle it well. But then when he does get the football, he gets hammered by Malcolm Jenkins, and the football comes out.
That sack brought to you by Steakum, contributing to Stop Hunger in Philadelphia by donating $100 for every sack throughout the season to Phil Abundance. First and goal at the 2.
And it's a smart move by Fletcher Cox. You know, many times you want to see that score there, but he just cradles the ball.
Wentz in the gun. On first down, to Boston Scott, who runs in, standing up, untouched. Boston Scott.
They blow them off of the football.
Do they ever?
This offensive line just blow the Giants off the football. Boston Scott going in, as you said, without a hand on him.
Not touched. Every Eagles touchdown proudly driven by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com. Here is the extra point to give the Eagles a 10-point lead.
Boston Scott now 12 carries, 49 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Elliott for the extra point. Spotted, kicked up. And it is good. 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter in regulation. And the score, the Eagles 27, the Giants 17. The Eagles were in the Mealy's red zone then, which meant a $100 donation to Justice Rescue.
It's an impressive job done by that offensive line. Matt Pryor, Jason Kelsey, Sam Marlowe, those 3 guys in the middle. An impressive job of handling the line of scrimmage, and Boston Scott going in, standing up untouched.
That's what they needed for the defense to set up a score. Now Elliott to kick off. 13 minutes left in regulation. Eagles 27, Giants 17. Latimer to return. Last time he actually returned one, he took it out to the 32. But on his last kickoff duty, Jake Elliott put it out of the end zone. That would be advisable. Here is the kickoff again by Elliott. It is high, and it is going to go out of the end zone. Latimer let it bounce in and out of the end zone, so the Giants will have a 1st and 10. Ball at the 25-yard line. Eagles need this defense to continue to pound away at the Giants.
Well, and listen to this crowd, and this is a Philadelphia Eagles crowd. You know, and when the Eagles are doing things correctly, you hear more from them than when the Giants are from their crowd.
Jones lines them up. Remember, Barkley can score at any moment. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Ball at the 25. Jones on first down. In the gun, as he has been most of the time today. He's straight back. He pumps. He is going deep, and it is incomplete. Broken up. Intended this time down the field for Slayton. Broken up by Rasul Douglas.
Yeah, this is really good cornerback play. You know, the corners have been beaten just a couple of times, but this is Rasul Douglas, and he plays Slayton this time. But when Slayton goes up to try and high point the football, Rasul goes up with him and gets the football out. Excellent job.
Jones, 16 for 30, 197, and 1 touchdown to Golden Tate. It is 2nd and 10 for the 25. This time, handoff goes to Barkley, and that time he goes down again. Nathan Gary, with the exception of 1 big carry, for the most part, Barkley has been totally under control. But that big carry was a 68-yard touchdown.
Well, listen, on the snap of the ball, you could see the blue shirts just being knocked back into their own backfield. When that happens, there's nowhere for Barkley to run with the football.
Giants are 2 for 10 on third down conversions. This is 3rd and 11. In the gun, Daniel Jones, the former Duke star, backs up, steps up, hit, and down he goes again at the 20. He's sacked by Derek Barnett. Barnett got him.
Barnett is on a tear. Barnett started the game this way, just giving them a lot of problems trying to get to him. This time he goes underneath, starts up on the right side, then goes underneath the offense and gets to a quarterback.
That sack brought to you by Steakum, contributing to Stop Hunger in Philadelphia by donating $100 for every sack throughout the season to Phil Abundance. Here is the punt. Dixon gets it away. Greg Ward calls for a fair catch and confidently makes it outside of his 30. There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Eagles 27, Giants 17 on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Make today the day on 94.
Malcolm Jenkins tomorrow 2:30 with Marks and Reese, 94 WIP.
Fran Duffy takes you inside the playbook and breaks down the X's and O's of every Eagles game day on Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, powered by Gatorade. Every snap tells a story, and the Eagle Eye in the Sky has you covered.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, not easy. 1st and 10, Wentz in the gun. On first down, he gives to Scott. Scott dips to the outside and gets back to the line of scrimmage, barely. Now, this is a big load, Mike, for Boston Scott. He is more of a change of pace back than what you commonly refer to as a bell cow back.
Yeah, this is where you would really want to have Jordan Howard in the game so you can pound it between the tackles and get those dirty yards and just run a lot of the time off the clock. But now you because of necessity, it's Boston Scott's time.
It is 2nd down and 10. Ball remains at the 34. Under 11 to play in regulation. Wentz goes back. He's looking, gives ground, stops, now rolls, still looking, now floats it to the near side. It's incomplete. Threw it in the direction of Dallas Goedert, and Wentz fortunate to get away from the Giants' rushers. Just got away.
Yeah, he really had nothing. Early in the down, there's a possible chance that he could have gotten it to Josh Perkins, but he really didn't have much.
It is 3rd and 10. Eagles have to get to the 44, their own 44, for a first down. They've got 3 receivers left and 1 right. Greg Ward is generally the man. Let's see what Wentz does right here with Scott to his right. He's in the shotgun. He backs up. He looks. He fires. Diving reception by Perkins, but he's short of the first down. He is short of the first down, and the Eagles will have to punt. He picks up about 7 yards, but that's 3 yards shorter than they had the game.
Makes it tough when your only healthy running back is Boston Scott in this situation.
Again, Jordan Howard is active, but they don't want to use him unless it is an emergency measure. In the punt, Cameron Johnston. In return, Golden Tate. The punt is away. It is a high end-over-end punt. Tate takes it at the 13. Runs to his right. Turns the corner. He's at the 20, 25, 30, 32. Gets to the 32 where he's chased out by Nathan Gary. That was an 18-yard return by experienced Golden Tate.
Well, the defense on that last series, they had an excellent series against this offense, and they're going to have to do likewise. Lots of changing up on the back end by Jim Schwartz and giving Danny Jones a lot of different looks. And I think that's going to be important to close out this game with having him think about what's happening on the back end of that defense.
1st and 10. Jones again in the shotgun with Barkley to his left. On first down, Jones takes the snap and backpedals. Here comes the rush. They hit him. They drop him inside the 20 down at the 18. Timmy Jernigan's prize. That one's Timmy Jernigan.
And that's the 4th sack of the day. You look at Derek Barnett. He's the first one to get there. He just gets a swipe on it. But then Timmy Jernigan just cleans it up and puts Jones on his back.
That sack brought to you by Steakum, contributing to Stop Hunger in Philadelphia. That's $400 so far today from Stakem to Phil Abundance. It is second down and 20. Jones puts Smith, the tight end, in motion. Again, he's in the shotgun. Jones takes his drop. Here comes the rush. He dumps it off to Barkley. Barkley is brought down at the 30. That's not even the original line of scrimmage. Sidney Jones slid over and made the stop after a 9-yard gain. We're going to move under the 9-minute mark. Eagles leading 27-17, and the Giants have a 3rd and 11.
Surprises me to see that that's the first time they get the screen out to Saquon Barkley, because that is one of the plays that's helped them to get big chunks of yards.
And that was Sidney on the spot to make that play. 3rd and 11. Again, 3 receivers. Eagles jumping around. Back goes Daniel Jones. Here comes the rush. He lets it go, and it is complete, but short of a first down by 3 yards. Short of a first down, and the Giants going to go for it? They're short of a first down by 3 yards. Catch by Caden Smith, and this will put the Giants in a 4th down and almost 3. Eagles shut them down once earlier in this game on 4th down.
Is Pat Shermer really going to go, or is he going to try and draw him offside?
No, he has nothing to lose.
He has absolutely nothing to lose.
He's going for it. 4 receivers. Wing to the near side. Slot to the near side. This time, handoff goes to Barkley, tries to get outside, and he cannot. He cannot. Eagles take over on downs. Travon LeBlanc, the French chef, ended his run.
For the second time today, they're going to take over on downs. They try and get Saquon Barkley out on the edge, but the white shirts of the Eagles, they just keep stringing him out, stringing him along, and Travon LeBlanc eventually gets him to the ground.
If you take away that 168-yard run, and I realize that's kind of like, aside from that, Mrs. Lincoln, what did you think of the play? But if you take away that 168-yard run, he's almost got minus yards. 27-17, the Eagles lead the Giants with 7:53 to go, and they have the ball in Giants territory. Slot to the far side, wing to the near side. Little Boston Scott, really the workhorse in this game. He didn't expect it, but he's giving you everything he has. And on first down, he carries it one more time. Tries to get to the outside, and he is pushed out of bounds, losing a couple of yards by Julian Love. Lost 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Eagles very interested in running the clock right now, and it's 7:42 and ticking, and the Eagles leading by 10. Wentz huddles them up. Deontay Burnett, the newest Eagle, who made a great catch earlier in this game, is back on the field. Slot to the near side. Wentz lines up in the gun. Boston Scott to his right. Wentz into a long count. He straightens up. He comes back. He fakes. He looks. He pumps. He fires, and it's incomplete high. That one soared. That was intended for Deontay Burnett. It was way over his head. And this puts the Eagles in a 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, they got nothing out of their last possession, and if they don't make a play here, it's another 3 and out. You got to do a little bit more than that, and try not to put so much on your offense. They're now 3 of 13 on the day on converting 3rd downs. Just not good on 3rd down.
Goddard out to the far side. Wide is Greg Ward. 3 receivers left. Wentz again in the gun. Are the Giants coming? Wouldn't surprise me. He's got Scott to his right. Wentz back, steps up. He screens it out to Scott. Scott at the 40. Scott at the 30. Scott at the 25. 20. Spins around to 15. 10. 5. Down to the 2. Boston Scott. Oh, is Boston Scott leaving Giants in his wake.
Oh, my God.
How about that spin?
Kid. That kid is so special. He gets the ball out. He's got Kelsey out in front. He's got Sayamalu out in front. And he outruns the defense. A little spin move at the end there.
I think I saw that once before, but it was in the Ice Capade. Entering the Mealy's Red Zone, a $100 donation to Justice Rescue.
That's fun to see.
1st and goal outside the 2. Eagles can pretty much lock it up right here with the touchdown. 3 receivers. Wentz under center this time. On 1st down, Wentz gives to Scott. Up the middle, he pushes, he's in, touchdown, standing up. Standing up, Jason Peters leveled his man, and the Eagles increased their margin.
How can you tell he's standing up? He's only 5'6", but I tell you what,
I could tell he was standing up.
I can tell you this, he knows how to drop his shoulder pads, and he hits Antoine Bethea right at the goal line and pushes his way into the end zone.
Every Eagles touchdown proudly driven by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Find the Honda dealer near you at DelValHondaDealers.com.
The little power lifter shows his power on that play.
They are moaning in Dallas. Full is spotted. The kick is up. The extra point has been converted. And with 6:14 to play in regulation, the Eagles lead the Giants 34-17. And timeout on the field. What?
The Giant fans are on their way to the exit.
They are, but I don't breathe easily till there are zeros. Okay, you're on the Eagles.
Malcolm Jenkins tomorrow 2:30 with Marks and Reese, 94 WIP.
It's day after press conference tomorrow at noon. Joe DeCamera, John Ritchie, 10 to 2 on WIP.
Great Scott. It's Boston this afternoon. Boston Scott with 3 touchdown runs. Stats brought to you by PNC Bank. PNC has been the cornerstone in our region for more than 150 years, and they're committed to helping the members of our community. PNC. Make today the day.
And he did that on just 16 rushes. 16 rushes for 46 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Here is the kickoff. And it is taken by Latimer at the 2. Out to the 5, the 10, 15, 20, and only to the 25 this time. Tackle on the play by T.J. Edwards.
Carson Wentz 23 of 40 for 289 yards. But again, Scott, 16 carries, 3 of them for touchdowns, 46 yards. He has 4 receptions for 84 yards.
And this is a game in which the Eagles lost Miles Sanders, who should be the Rookie of the Year, and they lost Brandon Brooks, who has been their best offensive lineman all season.
And they had no Zach Ertz coming into the game.
1st and 10 Giants at the 24. They mark it at the 24. On first down, back goes Jones. He fires off balance and completes it for only about a yard as he gets Golden Tate. But the pressure is enormous as Malcolm Jenkins came in, and he was tackled on the play as soon as he caught the ball.
Everybody's trying to get in on the sack party, and Daniel Jones with that extra pump of the football, allowing these guys to eat in the Giants' backfield.
It is 2nd down and 8. A lot of empty seats right now. Jones again in the gun. Back pedals. Here comes the rush. He loads up. He fires, and it is dropped. Great play again as Caden Smith went up for the ball, and it was knocked away. Rasul Douglas knocked it out of his hands when the ball arrived.
Great play by Rasul Douglas.
Tell you, Jones did a pretty good job of getting set to throw that football off balance. Vinny Curry putting on the pressure. So the Giants, who are 2 for 12 on 3rd down conversions, face a 3rd down and 8. 5.5 to go in regulation. Eagles 34, Giants 17. Barkley to the right of Daniel Jones. Jones takes another snap. Here comes the rush again. He lets it go, and he completes it for a 1st down. This time again to Caden Smith out across the 35 up to the 36. But the clock continues to tick. 5:17, 5:16. Eagles lead 34-17. Jones lines them up. 3 receivers, slot to the near side of the field. This time, he gives off to Barkley, who tries to get outside and does. Picks up 9 yards this time. 2 Eagles had a shot at him, but he's so quick. Nigel Bradham finally made the stop after a 9-yard gain. Now, just for the record, the Giants used one of their 3 timeouts early in the 3rd quarter, so they have 2 left, and the 2-minute warning. And the Eagles lead.
Timeout for an injured player.
Eagles lead 34-17.
Well, coming into this game, Saquon Barkley only needed 89 yards to get to
Please
that.
Please reset the play clock to 27 seconds.
To get to the
27 on the play clock, please.
Gotcha. To get to the 1,000-yard mark. You're welcome. And he has 15 carries now for 85 yards, so he only needs 4 more yards. And I know that that's one of the things that the Giants would like. All of the great running backs, that's the mark. You want to get to 1,000 yards in a season, and he's very close to that at this point.
Wawa Classic hoagies are made for you with delicious ingredients on a freshly baked roll. Wawa's the official hoagie of the Philadelphia Eagles. Joe Jalapeno, the Giants center, or John Jalapeno, is injured. He's the one they're looking at. Boy, if you told me that the Eagles were going to play this game without Zach Ertz, we knew that going in, Lane Johnson, Miles Sanders, who they lost early in the game, and then Brandon Brooks, I would have told you it could be a very dark day at the Meadowlands as far as the Eagles' playoff chances were concerned. But they have really made plays. They have been battling, and they have been well coached.
Well, and the Giants are now going to lose their starting center.
Yeah. And Daniel Jones has been chopped up enough by the Eagles today. AAA roadside is their strong side. Make AAA part of your game plan at AAA.com.
They'll slide Spencer Pulley in now to the center spot. He plays both the guard and center.
The worst thing that can happen to any NFL player is to be injured in the last game of the season, because if it's anything significant that requires surgery, they spend their whole offseason rehabbing.
Yeah, and that's not fun at all.
We have 4:45 to play in regulation. Giants have a 2nd down and 1 at their own 45-yard line. I hear some EAGLES Eagles chants going on. Slots to either side, empty backfield. Daniel Jones, he's back, he steps up, he lets it fly again and completes it to Caden Smith. He's the target right now most of the time. Caden Smith, the tight end, just across midfield for an 8-yard gain. Vinny Curry.
Well, the Eagles are showing a lot more two-deep zone coverage now, so it's going to be the tight ends on the inside or giving it to Saquon, trying to get him in space.
Back again goes Daniel Jones one more time. He pumps, he dumps it over the middle, and running with the football is Barkley, close to another 1st down. But the clock continues to tick, and it will move into the threes as we go to 3:59, 3:58. 34-17, Eagles leading the Giants. Jones lines them up. Barkley to his right. Wing to the near side. Give goes to Barkley up the middle. He has his 1,000 yards, but he's put down outside the 30. Now they spot it. Let's see where they spot it. He gets to the 30, and they put it right there after another 10-yard gain. But the clock, 3:35, 3:33. It's running. Daniel Jones lines them up. 1st and 10. He's doing it in little chunks, and that's okay with the Eagles. He's back again. He is throwing deep, and it is intercepted. Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones running with the football. He's spinning. He's looking for running room. Goes across the field, and finally he's down at the 9-yard line. So Sidney Jones, who has played terrific football in the last part of the season, comes up with a pick.
Very happy for Sidney Jones, because much maligned, because he came into his career injured, finally got healthy, did not play well, but over the past 3-4 weeks, he has come up with some huge plays, and this is a big play to really shut the door on the New York Giants.
The defense posing in the corner of the end zone. That turnover brought to you by Impriano Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Let Jack Impriano and his team turn over your old roof with a brand new beautiful roof. Visit Impriano.com. So now I dare say that the Eagles are 3 minutes and 9 seconds away
67 is eligible
from capturing the NFC East. Nate Herbig is the tackle eligible. Carson Wentz lines them up. Boston Scott, he's my MVP today. 3 touchdowns. Handoff again to Boston Scott, who pushes and pulls and is just running the clock as they throw him down at the 10-yard line. Dexter Lawrence hit him first.
Timeout. Giants, their 2nd of the half.
Giants only have 1 timeout remaining. Not going to matter today. 3:01 remaining.
Please reset the game clock to 3:03. Thank you.
You talk about a great head coach, and I sincerely mean this. the way Doug Peterson has rallied this team in the Super Bowl year without Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Last year without Carson Wentz.
Number 67 is reported eligible.
And again,
is eligible.
this year, when all looked lost after that depressing defeat in Miami, but they came back, and this team is going to have won its 4th straight game to head into the playoffs.
And there's a long list of guys that they're missing this season off and on, and they've somehow come up with a way.
On second down again, it goes to Boston Scott, and he pushes almost to the 15. And that will put them in a third down and about 5.
Timeout. Giants. Their third and final. 30-second timeout.
Well,
Please reset the clock to 2:58.
And it's almost a certainty now.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's almost a certainty now that Pat Shermer will find a new address after this season, and Black Monday, tomorrow, he'll probably get that pink slip.
You know, as much as you want the Eagles to win this, and certainly we do, but there's a certain feeling for Pat Shermer because he is a very decent man. He's a very solid coach, a football lifer.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing for him and his family.
The thing about a guy like Pat Shermer, he'll land on his feet because he's going to be
67,
somewhere.
Reported eligible. 67 is eligible.
He'll be somewhere in the National Football League coaching next season, and probably an offensive coordinator somewhere.
It is 3rd and 5. Wentz under center one more time. Wentz back to Boston Scott. Tries to fake. He spins again. Comes across the 15. Runs it to the 17. Almost picked up a first down right there. 2:48, 2:47. The clock ticking. Not much the Giants can do without any timeouts. Not much that they could do anyhow. Trailing 34-17.
Yeah, but you would like for the offense to get a first down, and so that your defense wouldn't have to come back onto the field anymore.
The defense had a couple of lapses today, but when it counted, they were big. They just made big play after big play. In the punt, Cameron Johnston. Giants will be coming a penalty flag. Eagles take a penalty. I think delay of game.
Oh, yeah.
Before the penalty for the false start by 27, Philadelphia called a timeout. That's their first. 30 seconds in length.
Timeout brought to you by Wawa. Wawa Classic Hoagies are made for you with delicious ingredients on a freshly baked roll. Wawa is the official hoagie of the Philadelphia Eagles.
So Malcolm Jenkins, the up back, he's calling the cadence on the punt, just trying to see if he can get the Giants to jump.
Please reset the game clock to 2:14.
They don't jump, so Doug's standing there with the official to allow the clock to go down as far as he can before backing up the punter.
You know, the Giants are going to come with everything they have right here. To Cameron Johnston. Deep. Golden Tate. Here's the punt. He gets it safely away. It is high and end over end. Tate takes it at the 40. He runs around in a circle and goes down at the 36.
Sidney Jones.
Sidney Jones again, and Rodney McLeod down there too. Great job by Dave Phipp and his special teams. And we will go down. Now, Alex Singletary motioning for the Eagles fans here. We are 5 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. And the Eagles are up 34-17, 2:05 away from the NFC Eastern Division title for the second time in 3 years. Daniel Jones hands it off to Saquon Barkley, and he is tackled immediately by Malcolm Jenkins. And there is the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Tasty Cake.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Make happy happen with your hometown favorite snack, Tasty Cake. Visit Tasty Cake on 2 minutes to go. And the Giants have no timeouts. And the Eagles lead 34-17. Giants 1st and 10. Ball on their own 34. Daniel Jones goes back. He fires it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for Caden Smith. That takes us down to 156.
Boy, they're having too much fun out there. All the pressure on Daniel Jones, forcing him to throw the football early with Brandon Graham. But then on the back end of that, they've got Golden Tate in a sandwich, and he just wanted no parts of that football.
Radaman Jenkins putting on pressure. Slot to the far side, lone receiver to the near side. It is 2nd and 13. Jones in motion. Or 3rd and 13. Jones lows up, fires, and it is caught by Tate in Eagles territory at the 46, but the clock continues to tick. 145, 144. I'm not sure that hit was worth it for Golden Tate at this point of the game. A 20-yard pickup. A minute and a half remaining. Back goes Daniel Jones one more time. He floats it over the middle, completes it. Running with it is Javoris Allen. They call him Buck Allen, and they tackle him inside the 40. 121, 120. Eagles a minute and 16 seconds away from winning the NFC East.
Official timeout for an injured player. By rule, under 2 minutes, Philadelphia is charged with their second timeout.
Kervon LeBlanc,
30-second timeout.
shaken up. Boy, with what has happened to the secondary, I don't know that they already couldn't afford to lose any more. Tackle your gas and electricity costs like 180,000 businesses in North America who trust Direct Energy in Business to help make them their business better. Find out how to score big by visiting. That's Direct Energy Business. It's business.directenergy.com. Let me give you that again. Business.directenergy.com.
Nice to see Kervon LeBlanc walking off the field under his own power, because you don't want to see another one of these guys go down. He caught some friendly fire at the end of that play.
2nd and 1. Ball at the 37. Daniel Jones back again. He fires out and then is caught by Sterling Shepard, who steps out of bounds to kill the clock, but he loses a yard there. Pushed out by Sidney Jones. Clock at 1:09. There's nothing the Giants can do right here except try to score a few more points, and that would take a miracle. In the gun again, Daniel Jones. It is 3rd and 1. He gives it off inside, and running with the football is Buck Allen. He squeezes out a first down as he takes it down to the 32. Malcolm Jenkins in on the stop. Under a minute to play. Less than a minute to play. Eagles are 55 seconds away from winning the NFC East and eliminating the Dallas Cowboys. Daniel Jones fires over the middle and completes it down near the 15-yard line, where the catch is made by Sterling Shepard, who takes an immediate hit. 36 seconds, 35 seconds. Up again comes Daniel Jones. Ball at the 16. Jones back, looks, pumps, fires, incomplete. Intended for Caden Smith. Nate Gary in coverage. 23 seconds left. Eagles 34, Giants 17. It was a close game for a while. As a matter of fact, it was 17-17, and then all Eagles. If you're looking for the turning point, I think a fumble forced and then recovered down at the 2 by who else? Fletcher Cox. Would you agree?
That was the turning point in my mind. They needed that big turnover.
It is 2nd and 10 again for Daniel Jones. Jones takes his drop. He dumps it off, and running out of bounds at the 15-yard line is Cody Latimer with 19 seconds left. Giants playing their last 19 seconds of the season. Eagles will be playing either next Saturday or Sunday. We kind of think it would be Sunday, but we're not sure.
All the Eagles fans, I'm sure, will be tuned in to that 49ers Seattle game tonight to find out who's coming across country to Lincoln Financial next weekend.
Eagles will play the loser of that game. Daniel Jones one more time. He's looking, he is firing, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted. And looking for Buck Allen inside the 10. Malcolm Jenkins over there to break it up. 14 seconds left. And the Giants have a 4th and 7.
Anthony Rush starts onto the field, but he realizes he's not wearing his helmet. He's wearing a toboggan.
It is 4th down and 7 at the 13. And the NFC Eastern Division champions can't wait to get off the field. They showed a lot of guts today. There was adversity with key players injured again. Back one more time, Daniel Jones. He steps up, he fires, he completes it, and tackled down at the 5-yard line is Cody Latimer. 5, 4, 3. Now they're going to stop the clock because there is an eagle. Then that's 0-0-0s on the clock.
The game clock had expired before I blew my whistle. The game is over.
Game is over. The game is over. The final score, the Eagles 34, the New York Giants 17. The Eagles have won the NFC East for the second time in 3 years, and they have eliminated the Dallas Cowboys. Mike, it wasn't easy. I don't know who they're going to line up to play with next week. That's another story.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about all of the guys that are down, and how do you put this thing together now
I don't know.
to take on either San Francisco or the Seattle Seahawks. One of these teams will be coming to Philadelphia next weekend, and it's going to be tough to just fill the roster.
I mean, we're talking about real stars who have been injured. Zach Ertz, I don't know what his prognosis is. I know there are all kinds of reports going on, but we haven't heard anything official from the Eagles. We know that Brandon Brooks was hurt today, and also, of course, the guy who has played so well all year, Miles Sanders. Let's go down to Howard.
All right, I'm here with Brandon Graham, who's a little bigger than Boston Scott. NFC East champions. You know, when did it start to become a reality?
Man, right now, as you talking about it, man, you know, we got our one goal, we got NFC East. Now it's on us to, one game at a time, man. Now it's a new season.
What was the mentality coming in? You knew coming off of Dallas, you knew what you had to do, but it's not easy to come from that game to this game.
Just go out and win, get it done no matter what, and I think, we never wavered. We knew we had to get the momentum back, and, I just love the resilience of this team, man. We just keep on working.
What can you say about Boston Scott?
Hey, I know. Hey, big dog. Hey.
Golden Tate comes over here. They all come over here. Scott.
I can say Boston been working his butt off. Hey, good stuff, boy. Hey, what a battle, boy. Yes, sir. All I can say is Boston, man, he's a guy that's been ready, for his opportunity, and I'm just happy for him. You know what I'm saying?
What did you say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What did you say to Daniel Jones? I saw you talk to him after the game.
I told him he a baller, man. Keep on working, man. Make them boys eat them words. I know what it feel like to be a first rounder and nobody, believe in you after a while because you make mistakes. But I just wanted to give him some encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I know what it feel like.
What does it feel like to play another week?
Man, it feels good. Especially because seeing that score, seeing the Cowboys winning. And we were 17-17. I was like, all right, y'all, come on. And, boy, we took off after that.
Hey, we got a message for Cowboys fans. Cowboys fans, the Eagles are NFC East champions.
Hey, I knew you was going to give me something good. I appreciate you.
All right, congratulations. All right, back up to you.
AAA Roadside is the strong side. Make AAA part of your game plan at AAA.com. Any rebroadcast of this game is expressly prohibited without advance written permission of the NFL, 94 WIP, and Entercom Communications. Our statistician, Terry Small. Spotter, Bill Werndell. Stadium engineers, Andy Coffin and the Colt. Stadium chief engineer, Lane Massey. Director of engineering, Dave Scalish. Engineering supervisor, Ben Hill. Studio engineer, Anthony Foley. Studio producer, Mike Angelina. Studio assistants, Moshe Kravitz, Dan Wilson, and Tucker Bagley, and our scoreboard editor, Hollywood Nolan Reese, and our producer, Joseph A. McPeak. That will wrap things up for tonight. What a game. For the Eagles, there is a tomorrow. or more accurately, a Saturday or a Sunday next week, as they beat the Giants and capture the NFC East. Coming up is the postgame show with Rob Cherry, Jamal Jackson, and Dan Klecko. Once again, the final score, the Eagles 34, the Giants 17, as the Eagles finished the regular season with a 9-7 record. For Mike Quick, this is Merrill Reese saying so long from the Meadowlands on the PNC Eagles Football Network.